You made it back to another show. That's good. You still here. That's great. And I get to hear from you and know that you're present. That's amazing. It's outstanding that you found a way to show your resolve, to stay resilient, to show your real power and let your real strength stand out. Every day won't be perfect. Every day won't be ideal. But you know what will be perfect? You know what will be ideal? It's you showing up every single time. You fighting every single time. You finding a reason every single time. If you're that person out there struggling and you're thinking of doing something like harming yourself, don't. Make a simple phone call. 3 simple digits. 988. Get on the phone. Get help. There's a number of different organizations. If for some reason, some strange reason, you can't even find the money to pay for help, there's so many organizations out there that will pay for it. I need you to keep fighting. I need you to keep being strong. I need you to stand tall. No one knows the personal battle you're going through. No one knows the personal pain. But they know you here. They know your laugh. They know your smile. They know your kindness. They know your heart. And that, to me, is what matters the most. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one that you can live with and get help. What's going on, Pride Nation? We are back at it again, talking about what? The Lions versus the Panthers. That's right. We got to talk about this game because it needs to be discussed. And I think there's a lot of things pertaining to this game that many people may not have thought about or may not have, or maybe they have thought about it, but they thought about it in a way that might be strange. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that I have some strong views about this game. Okay. And one of the views that I have, I'm going to discuss, which is pretty much what I expect, my expectations. And if I can have them meet the expectations, that's all that matters. We also got to talk about this 3-year thing. I don't know when y'all going to stop subscribing to 3 years. It does not take 3 years for things to change and turn around, as you can see now. And you have to wonder why this is happening. But before we get into all that, before we get into the hooplas and the unnecessaries and all that other BS, let's get into who's in the building with me, because that's important. I want to know that you're here with me. So if you're in the chat, please post something. I want to shout you out. You here? Get yourself and get your recognition. Take these flowers. They don't cost you anything. Chrome is in the building. My man's Big T is in the building, who says, "What up, though, Pride Nation? Defend the den." Looney Tune is in the building. John Kapler is in the building, who says, "Love the steel frame graphic." Yeah, I think it's very fitting. You know, you can see the fight in both of them, but one of them looks a little bit more stoic, if you know what I mean. My man Dan Spanos in the building. Hope all is well with you, brother. 420 style. 420 ain't 420 like the National Smoke Day? I might be wrong. But shout out to you. Welcome to the show, brother. My man Giovanni Lyons II is in there. Let's go. It says, "Thank you for staying strong. Luke, you are appreciated." I cried enough for him, man. Y'all trying to get me there again. Southwest Lions in the building says, "Hey, Luke, checking in from Mesa, Arizona." My man Gregory's in the building. Congratulations on getting back to playoff contention, fellas. Shout out to the big homie over here, man. My homeboy over here is not a Lions fan, but he always show love and support. And even though our team beat his team, he still showed love and support, love and support. And was like, "Look, congratulations on that win, man. This is just rough." So I appreciate it. Shout out to the people. Lions fan Express, love the background. Hey, it is the battle of the big cats, man. Fun fact: do you know what the biggest animal, the biggest cat in the cat family is? Don't Google it. If you know the answer, drop it in the chat. I wanna see who know that answer to that. Lions Rumble's in the building. Old timer Dave, my residential Packer fan. In case y'all didn't know, my man Gregory is a Commanders fan. So he's cheering for this Commanders to make some moves too. Big T said defender Den. Will K is in the building. I want to make sure I give you your flowers. If you here, let me give you your flowers. I'm starting a little bit earlier because I'm probably not gonna be able to do it tomorrow. I'm definitely not doing nothing on Saturday because that's the day of the game, and obviously it's Christmas Eve, and you want to spend time with family. It says, let's effing go, Luke, 2 days in a row. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to make it 3. I'm trying to make it 3. Sky's the ceiling. How you feeling? Hey, love it. Chrome is in the building. I want to make sure if you here, get your flowers, man. Bulgarius is in the building. Black Spirit is in the building. All right, so they looked it up. We have Tiger, and I got Liger. Ligers do not count, and they are still on average not bigger than Tigers. Good call right there, Black Spirit. Don't tell me you Googled it though. All right, 420 style got the right answer. Tigers. Big T got the right answer. Tigers. But do you know who the strongest cat is? We talking cats right now, right? Who is the strongest cat of them all, right? D-Map Zoom's in the building. The great one, Mike, is in the building. Let's see. We got my man Kurt Romeo. I'm gonna mess your name up. Romero. I hope I said that right. Siberia Tiger. He got the right answer. That's right. What is the strongest? Let's see who get the strongest. Siberian Lion. Okay. Any more answers? You know, it says house cats are the biggest pain in the ass for sure. This is true. But who's the strongest cat? There's an absolute answer to this. Lion is king. Okay. So I don't see the answer yet because it's not the lion and it is not the panther. The answer is the leopard. The leopard can carry a significant amount of weight up a tree. That's strength. Think about the size of a gazelle, a full-grown gazelle, and a leopard can carry it up a tree. Think about that kind of strength. That's nuts. All right, people, let's get into it. I'm getting right into it, jumping right into it. Yesterday, I pissed a lot of people off. Sorry, not sorry, right? The reality is I have high expectations. And to the people who think that they're not realistic, God bless you, right? I'm not changing my standard. I expect them to succeed and do things that makes it. Chrome says tigers and lions would destroy a leopard. But the key word was strongest. Not more fierce, not more dangerous, strongest, right? Because when you think of it, a lion is not carrying his kill up a tree. And they hunt in packs. Leopards do not. Leopards do not, and they don't care. You could be a gator, right? I mean, you could be a croc for that matter, and they're like, hey, it don't care. So just saying. My man Grace, I forgot about it. All right, so listen. This is what I expect from this game coming into it. It's right. It's quite simple for me. All right. The Lions should stump a mud hole in the Panthers. It should not be a close game at all. Right? Like not even close. And to me, it's a number of reasons why I feel that. I feel like this is a very, 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 very big trap game. Like this is trap game on top of trap game, right? But this is a trap game, in my opinion, that has got a faulty ass trap. And in my opinion, you have to go out this whole stay away from this person. I don't care who's out there. Whoever's out there, you go after them. We can't have no more games where you're refusing to throw to a side of a field because there's somebody over there you're afraid of. That's not how we're going to do this, okay? We need to go out there and score fast and score often because that's how you're going to get them the hell up out of there. And that's what I want us to do. I want us to get them up out of there and get them beat ASAP, quick and fast. And I think we can do it. Here's the first thing I want y'all to look at. Look at who they actually beat, right? Like I'm not asking for you to like reinvent the wheel, but just look at who they actually beat. You beat the Falcons 25-15. Falcons ain't doing nothing. You beat Denver It's 23-10. Denver ain't doing nothing. You beat Seattle at Seattle. That's a good quality win, right? It's a good quality win. You know, you put 30 up. That's cool, right? But that's where the bus stops. That's where it stops. And when you look at the losses, a lot of these teams who are beating them are not just outscoring them, they're outscoring them. Obviously, the first game of the season, Cleveland Browns versus them, it's the first game of the season. You didn't do much. Okay, cool. Second game of the season, you're still not, not getting your swag, I guess, but still, nonetheless, they beat you by a field goal. All right. By the time you got to Arizona was like, nah, 10-point beat. San Francisco just said, get off the field. The Rams told you to get off the field, 14-point beat, right? You lose to the Falcons in overtime by 3. Okay. Both teams hot garbage, right? Cincinnati Bengals beat them by 21, right? Baltimore. And for the people who looking at this and like, oh, but it's only 13-3. It's a 10-point win. Don't care. It's a 10-point win, right? And all I'm saying is the Lions need to be a part of that group. The Lions need to be a part of that group because I had to go back and watch a few games. I only watched two. And I wanted to see what happened when they won. And I came away still unimpressed. And then I said, well, maybe the box scores or statistics will help them in some form or fashion, right? Like maybe this stuff make a difference. That's what I'm thinking, right? Maybe this is a difference. But then I get to looking at it. And then I'm like, okay, passing yards, where they at? Y'all stop me when you see them. Where they at? Middle of the pack to the bottom. Look at this. They 29th in passing yards. So you're not good passing the ball as a team. Okay, cool. Right? Then I said, I know what it is. Right? It's the defense. The defense is shutting them down. They getting these sacks and they getting it done. And I get down here and I'm talking about the Lions was dead last in a lot of these categories. And they're worse than us. Okay, so they're not good there. No problem. Okay, surely we're going to hit a stat line that makes a difference. Turnovers. Yeah, that's where they might be at. They're getting turnovers. And I get to going through the numbers, just looking at it at a glance. And again, in the middle of the pack to the bottom. All right, so they're not better than us in that regard. Okay, cool. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's the run game. That's what it is. They run the ball better than us. They clearly have a run game. And I get to scrolling on down. Let me make it big. Make it all big for the people. So people can see it. I get to going through this, looking at the run game. Somehow, we're still out rushing them. So my question to you in the chat, what the hell do they do good? Seriously. What is it that they do good? What is it that I should be concerned about that tells me that I should not expect us to stump a mud hole in them? What is it? What do they do that's so exciting that we should not be beating the brakes off of them? What is it? So I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm not saying underestimate them. I'm not telling the Lions to sleep on them. I'm telling the Lions to not only not sleep on them, but put them away early. Put them out their misery early. They are the horse who needs to be put down. It's been a long day. They don't do nothing good. On top of that, you have a guy in there who's trying to coach his way into another head coaching position. You can't, as Dan Campbell, Forget everybody else. Scratch it. You, Dan Campbell, listen to me. You cannot lose to a team who haven't even really begun their rebuild. You cannot lose to a team who doesn't even have a head coach. You cannot lose to a team that don't do nothing better than you. The game should be over by halftime. They should be scraping and scrapping to come back for the rest of the game by half. What's going on, Super Saiyan Lion? What's going on, Tactical Puma? Okay. I just have a hard time not saying how we didn't do this. How we don't beat them up. Like we should stomp them out. Like this should be like me fighting Tyson. You know, like the only way I'm gonna fight Tyson is if you give me a baseball bat. Like I'm not, you know, like come on, for what? What's the point? You know, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If you can still dunk and shoot over your grandchildren and your children, it should be like that. And in my opinion, the score should be ran the hell up. Now, there's a very strategic thing that I've noticed about this team, though. And why they've been able to stay in some of these games and hang around is because the other teams came in and made a bunch of mistakes. And the Lions have to clean those mistakes up. They have to clean up the penalties. They have to clean up not finishing plays. The big passes. If there's one thing on this team that I'm concerned about, and it's not because I think that they're necessarily better than what we have, it's because I think that what we have is still young and incompetent in areas that they should be more competent in, and that is their receivers. We gave up too many big passes to the damn Jets. And half of those passes wasn't even a pass. like it wasn't even a pass. Shout out to you, James Willis. Shout out to you, Tony Chase. What up, though, Go Lions? Jack Frost, what's going on, brother? I'm just thinking to myself, there is nothing they do good. Nothing. What's going on, Patty Grimes? Like, I'm just trying to figure this out. What do they do good? The only thing you have to concern yourself with is deep bombs. And if you think I'm lying, let me give you a little bit more proof on why this game shouldn't even be close. And if it is, you should be concerned. If this game is close, you should be concerned. And don't tell me a win is a win. Matt Corral, done. You ain't got to worry about him. I think they're gonna be their little special weapon. They're gonna run the shit out of PJ Walker. And last time we played PJ Walker, I mean, I might want to thank PJ Walker. He's the reason he got Patricia fired. I mean, not saying Patricia didn't have his own hand in it, but after that beat down, good grief. But it's Sam freaking Darnold. And I expect for Aiden Hutchinson to have 2 sacks. I expect for James Houston to have 2 sacks. I expect for us to have 4 total sacks in this game, if not more. I expect for us to have turnover. But I look at the running back. Who are you worried about? Seriously. Foreman? I ain't worried about him. Who? Just looking at this right now, the only people you can worry about is this man. That's it. Terrence Marshall, I'm not expecting him to do much, but who? Just look at it. What scares you right now when you look at this offense? Who's the player that's terrifying you? And the Lions cannot play down to this team like they did the Jets. The Lions can't come out and decide that we're not going to throw it to that place or this side of the ball because it was the Jets. Who on this team? This guy, if this is a trap game, and I think it is, if this is a trap game, this got to be the weakest trap I've ever seen. It's like somebody took 2 strings, put them on 2 styrofoam cups, and tried to make a tripping trap, and you just literally just walked through it, stepped on everything, trampled it. Like, I don't see how we lose this game. The offensive line is young, and we should dominate them. Talk about the defense. You say you worry about Brian Burns? I'm not. You got a Brian Burns? I got a Sewell. You remember that scene in Avengers when he say, "I have an army"? He said, "We have a Hawk." Yeah, we have a Sewell. I'm okay with that. We go. We got a Derek Brown. I got a Ragnow. Who am I supposed to be afraid of? Not being funny. One of the guys that I wanted, Brandon Smith, is hurt, so I ain't got to worry about that guy. Who in the hell am I worried about? And it's looking like J.C. Horn. Look at this. Questionable versus. Come on now. C.J. Henderson got traded. Come on. Who? You should be able to run the ball, pass the ball. They're going to it's going to be a whole lot of Jeremy Chin at the line of scrimmage. And I just feel like when you look at these teams, I walk away not threatened by no one. No one. No one scares me. No one makes me feel nervous. No one jumps out to me. You should win this game. It shouldn't even be close. To me, this is the game that tells me where we are. You struggle in this game, and I'm not so sure about the game against the Bears. And yeah, I know you at home. It's a game where they're going to honor one of my friends, Mr. Jim Bordeaux, RIP to him. But you're not going to disgrace my friend and not show up. I need you to stub a mud hole in them. You should win by at least 2 scores. Everybody else did. Why not you? Why not you? They had one game where they didn't win by 2 scores. Well, lost by 2 scores, I should say. And then when I look at this game, there isn't a person on here that scares me. They don't do anything good. Nothing. Patty Grimes says, you could Buster Douglas. You could be Buster Douglas. Yeah, that's what happened. Buster Douglas caught him at an emotional time. Trainer had just passed away. Wife was tripping on him. He was going through a lot. The Jets should have never converted that 3rd and 19 or that 4th and 18. Everybody named Mama got mad at me yesterday for talking about this. The great one, Mike, when I was talking about, like, y'all acting like y'all didn't have flashbacks from the Ravens. Y'all acting like y'all didn't know that. Like you know, it was too much. It was too much. What's going on, Sky Guy? I'm trying to, get a little fun in the show. And I'm gonna get y'all in here early too. Brandon Smith, McDonald's employee. The audacity. I think we win by 2 scores. Also, Gregory says, RIP to Franco Harris. RIP to Franco Harris. Yes. Yeah. But they had this whole thing about it, like a numerical thing and stuff. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. It's been a rough year for a lot of people. I think he was 72. Yeah. So RIP to him. Down 19. Luke, what's your thoughts on how the Lions using Jameson Williams? Honestly, frustrating, because I don't think he's fully healed. I think what they did is they tried to justify putting him in so people can at least say he's out there playing. But when you look at him, think about it. As fast as he is, why does it seem like the only time he gets targeted is on deep passes? Who are you trying to impress with that? Why not do him like you do Tyreek Hill and throw him a short pass and let him run it to the catch? Unless he's not able to do all those quick, swift cuts right now on that knee. Otherwise, if that's the case that he can and you're not doing it, yeah, then I'm disappointed. Because as far as I'm concerned, you didn't need him. Sorry, not sorry. So for me, I'm disappointed in how they're using him, and I'm disappointed in And the fact that if you're not going to really use him, and for the record, people, please don't come in here saying stuff like, oh, with him out there, he's changing the way people play. No, it's not. He hasn't done anything. Even on the one touchdown that he got, it was 100% of blown coverage. Sorry. The play design was perfect. And the guy that was back there was just inexperienced and came up. You know, it happens. 28-14, J-Mo scores, St. Brown scores, and Jamal gets 2 more touchdowns. Hey, we should be beating the brakes off of them. We've gotten better at conditioning since then. I believe so too. I think he needs the more slant routes. They're not even attempting to throw the ball to him. I think he's getting like 1 or 2 targets a game and getting like 14 to 13 like snaps. He's not even like in full rotation. They're just easing him back, put him in a play here and there. Like with all that speed, I ain't seen a one reverse from this man yet. Like, I mean, all the things you can do with this, apparently, it has not happened. So I'm just saying. I don't worry about that kick he missed. One earlier, I thought 2, and it was a 58 outside. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I don't want us downplaying to this team. We should stump this team out. We should be better than this team. We should be ahead of this team, and we should remind them all day that we are who we thought we were. And I promise you this, when the Lions do that, not only, like, see, if they go out and they barely beat the Panthers, yeah, people will still go, wow, shocking. They won a close game and stuff like that. But watch who the favorite going to be against the Bears. Watch. Watch who the favorite going to be when you play the Packers. You have a chance to win out, control your destiny, control it. That's all I'm asking you. I'm not asking you to do anything else special. I'm just saying. You know, the Lions get 6 sacks on Saturday. They should. Who in the hell who's the threat? Where's Carolina weak and the Lions could exploit? Everywhere. The quarterback, the running back, the receivers, the line, the defense. You should be able to truly just exploit their ass. They don't have enough cornerbacks to cover all our receivers. J.C. Horn, questionable. And if he do play, you're going to have to roll him on chart or get cooked down the field. Like, it's everywhere. We should not be close at all in this game. Andrew says, hey, Luke, why is Jackson getting more opportunities than Swift? Swift still hurt and he's been inconsistent. And in my opinion, his inconsistencies are a result of him being hurt. But I think that some of the reps that they've given Jackson is to see if they can live life without Swift. And in my opinion, you probably could, but Jackson ain't the answer. You go and find another running back who's more solid, has the same skill set, it can be done. The same thing happened over there in Dallas, right? Dallas had Ezekiel Elliott. They still went out and took Tony Pollard. Now look what happened. Tony Pollard's the starter, and Ezekiel Elliott's a complimentary backup. It just makes more sense. You need to find somebody like that. And if for some strange reason Tony Pollard hits the market in free agency, then you should go and get him, and then I'll be okay with you telling Swift bye. But if you don't find somebody who can do the thing that Swift can do, have the ability to take it to the house, catch up the backfield, then what's the point? You know? That's why I think they're doing it. The knees ain't ready for that nasty, filthy thing goes on. It's ready. Trust and believe. Shout out to my man Juan in the building. That man, every time I see this photo, I just be want to know who in the hell cut this man's hair. That lineup is crispy as hell. It says, yep, you're not fooling any NFL defense with only using him for long plays. Yeah, they're not using him at all. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And it's just like, look, they should find ways to get more done. That's all I'm saying. I hope James Houston gets another sack and keep it going. He will. I mean, he will. He did so much in that game that I don't think people really understood, but he will. Hutch 2 sacks, Houston 1, Comiskey 1, Okura 1. I don't care how it is. They should have a whole lot of sacks. It should be a really bad day for their quarterback. Our cornerbacks and safety should be sitting back there like, damn, if y'all gonna let the ball get past, can we run the ball? We should dominate them up front. It should just happen. Luke Bayless will find every reason not to like a draft pick he didn't like. Gotta admit, the people you wanted ain't really panned out either. Glad to catch a live show though, God. Good debate. No, I'm not looking for a reason. Eagle is key. I'm not looking for a reason to hate a pick we didn't get, because I don't even talk about those picks. I don't. In fact, I don't talk about Kyle Hamilton. I don't talk about Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons, in my opinion, has panned out. And I think if you look at the defense we was running when we was running it, if we had took Isaiah Simmons and let him play safety, he would have basically been Jeremy Chin. Okay. I also think that Okudah should be a goddamn safety and it was not worth a top 10 pick. That's proven to be right. I said that in order for you to beat the Jets, you need to get used to the tight ends. That proved to be right. I'm not saying that I can't be wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that. I wanted Brian Burns. He's another guy I like. Right? But there are circumstances and context that go into why picks don't work out and don't pan out. My only thing is when I look at these picks, it's never judged on the first year. The first year is not enough time. It's not enough consistency to judge it on the first year. It needs to be at least 2 to 3 years, preferably 3. And that's a fair assessment. And if you're not available, that goes part of your assessment. So I'm just pointing it out that, yeah, I get what you're saying, but like, yeah, Brandon Smith, I wanted him. He's hurt. So I can't comment on the guy who's hurt, right? I comment on the guy who's hurt in Jameson Williams because I'm thinking this is the 12th overall pick. You traded up 20 spots and gave up draft capital for this. You're not getting him until later in the season. Okay, cool. And now you got him. You use him on streaks. Streaks and fades. There you go. Nothing else. So it's like, okay. That's all I'm saying. Panthers can't handle physical teams. No, and that's why we should out-physical them. Keith Holly, I came off a Panthers channel. They really feel like we don't have a what? What's the channel name? What's the channel name? So I can go and add them to the description of this and add them at it real quick. Let them come talk about it. I think not only do we beat them, we beat them convincingly. I don't think that the Panthers should win any phase of the game. This should be a total domination. And if it's not, that's a shame. Jay said he's playing Saturday. Don't care. Can't cover everybody, right? Fans should leave at halftime. Yep, you should have them wanting to quit. You should have them wanting to quit. And if you don't, I'm sorry. Don't talk about no victory Monday, Sunday. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If you're telling me that you had a close game with the Panthers, yeah, we got a problem. That's just facts. I just put the link in the chat so y'all can come in and speak y'all piece. You know, it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter show, but hey, you know, I know people trying to get ready for it, but I want to still give y'all entertainment for the day, and you know, for the people that's still out there working and stuff. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think that we should. I don't think they should be competing with us. Craig Reynolds is back. Great. He should be getting off too. I just feel like every phase of the game should look like a cheat code. That's all I'm saying. Like every phase. And any questions y'all have, put them in the chat. You want to join the show? Join the show. This is an open forum. I don't mind if you come in and disagree with me. Just do it respectfully. Let's have a conversation about it. If you think I'm stupid, say you think I'm stupid. And I go, okay, I'm stupid. But explain to me why. And be prepared to have a conversation about why. But what I'm saying is ask any questions you want to ask me. I'll answer them and we'll talk about it. In my opinion, this game should be a beatdown. This game should be so far gone. I could not figure out anything they did good. Even when I watched the games that they won, I'm like, it's more about what the other teams didn't do. Do you think we can now put to rest about replacing Jared Goff this offseason or draft? No. Hell no. I'm going to tell you something. Jared Goff does not need to be comfortable. Jared Goff does not need to feel like he's so sacred he can't be touched. Jared Goff needs somebody behind him to threaten. Jared Goff should have somebody behind him that lets him know if you can't maintain your position, I got people waiting. You can't be healthy, I got somebody waiting. No, the Lions should still take a quarterback. Period. Because here's a news flash for you. If Jared Goff go down, how confident are you feeling about Nate Stubblefield? I'll wait. You want to go ahead and just toss Nate Stubblefield out there? You feel that good about him? His body of work speaks for that? I don't know. Seems a little suspect to me. The Lions would be far enough ahead in the fourth quarter. They can give Goff a rest and insert the second quarterback. Good. That's what I want to see. Let me bring in my first guest, Gunner. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, Luke?
Not much, man. Like I said, listen, I had a lot of messages from people who was pissed off about yesterday's show. Oh, good grief.
When will they learn?
I don't know. I wasn't even trying to. I was just trying to tell the truth.
They should know what to expect when they come to your show. They're going to find something they disagree with to be upset about.
And the reality is they're going to find something to disagree because I'm not going to do the same thing everybody else do and just come in happy as hell that we got to win. I'm going to analyze how we got to win and say is what we did in that win sustainable. If they play how they play against the Jets the next game, they won't win that game.
So, no, you can't completely avoid JC Horn.
No. So what are your thoughts about the Lions going against the Panthers on Saturday?
I mean, they still got a lot of talent on defense, but offensively, we need to shut that shit down right away. Like, Sam Darnold was nothing but a dink and dunk quarterback against Pittsburgh. He was not throwing anything beyond 10 yards. Like, there ain't no way he should be throwing it all over the yard on us.
Man, they should be touching this man so much that you think he's at an orgy. Like, it should be that much touching. It should be that much contact with him, in my opinion. Charles Davis says Luke thought he was wrong once, but he was mistaken. I love it. I admit when I'm wrong. I do. I admit when I'm wrong, but a lot of the things that I say are not meant for the moment. They're meant for a bigger picture. And so a lot of times people jump on things and stuff, and they don't realize that what I say aged well. It's not good just in that moment. It ages well. I say you want to win games, get back to running the ball. I was told we are passing league. You say that stuff if you want to, but in the months of November, really the middle of October to December on out, the best teams run the ball. Just facts. That's what the history say. I get nobody telling me stuff about that. Right? My stuff just aged well. And it's a lot of it that's still up for proof. Now, watch, he go another controversy. Gunner, you gonna remember this one. Do you remember when Chase Young came out? And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't take him.
Yep.
And I got yelled at. And I was told, like, you crazy. And I was like, I don't see a guy who play hard for every down. I don't see a guy who's going to be on the field too often. I said, and I don't see a guy who's going to have a big enough impact to where he's going to do it on a consistent basis. And all Chase Young has done is come in, have a few splash plays against bad teams, and then get hurt and be out.
Yeah, and their D-line's already good enough. They didn't even really need him.
You remember what I said about Montez Sweat when everybody named Mama wanted Montez Sweat, and I had that.
Yeah, you had the punch sound.
Mm-hmm.
Need to bring that back.
Time. I know, man. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring back a few of the little sound bites. Every time somebody would say Montez Sweat, I would do the punch sound because I kept trying to explain to people what I saw, and they didn't want to hear it. If Goff wins a playoff game, can people stop saying he's a bum? No.
Blake Bortles won 2 playoff games.
Exactly, right? Like Rex Grossman went all the way to the Super Bowl. He was still a bum. Eric Kramer took the Lions to the NFC Championship game. You're not going to tell me he was good. No, the playoff game is not enough to say he's not a bum. He's got to do a little bit more, in my opinion. So that's just me. You know, he's trending. He's trending
him not turning the ball over helps a lot. That keeps you in games.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
us getting at least a turnover every week for the last 10 weeks or something. Like that.
Listen, I get it.
That's the same thing I would expect in this game. Get 2 turnovers off Sam Darnold and don't turn the ball over. You win.
I mean, you're not asking for much. And you know what? I got to do this. I got to do this really quick because I want to make sure that I keep supporting this cause because it matters to me. It really do. It really do matter to me. And I want to make sure I get this up here. Boom. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get that big enough. Oh, yeah. They've been talking crazy. All right. Let me bring this up, people. This is the Stay Tomorrow Needs You t-shirts. It's only $19.99. It comes in a multitude of different colors. As you can see, it comes in pink. I believe this is navy blue, which is the one I have. I have the navy blue and white one. And then it comes in the black and white. And what this is a t-shirt that is sending a message to people that, you know, we need you. You know, it's been a lot going on. We've had a lot of people lost thus far this year, and many of them have been lost by suicide. And so when you purchase these t-shirts, a portion of that purchase goes directly to here, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And what they do is they help pay for therapy sessions and different things like that for people who can't afford it. They offer other services like free services for that. And so a portion of it goes here, and this helps somebody stay. This helps somebody stay so tomorrow can have them and we can see them. And so if I don't usually do pandering, so I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm just asking you to consider it. The link to this is in the description. All I'm asking for you to do is support this cause. It matters to me as a person who has had a friend who committed suicide, where we had a whole conversation and everything seemed like it was great. I am absolutely on board with this. So please purchase your Stay Tomorrow Needs You t-shirts. And this is brought to you by Man Hour, because Man Hour is also who designed these for me and who I rock with. As you can see it up here, it says Man Hour right here. You can use the code BUCK, get some money off of it. And then it's on the back of the shirt, little promotion, Man Hour right there, where you can hear them on Roku Radio. Some of these shows that I do is on Roku Radio. I go back and listen to it too. So great, because they help me out with that as well. So just asking that if you want to do something and send a message and do something that help people, get a shirt, get a t-shirt, and let's talk about it. Gunner, it says, at least your takes age well. They do. They age really damn well. I'd be wrong about some things, like a lot of things, right? I don't have a problem admitting that. I'd be wrong about a lot of things. But many of the things like that people don't get, it's like, I'm not talking for now. It's just all about this. You know, I just don't have it. The best teams also force turnovers. Yeah, and the Lions should be getting a lot of those this game too. That's what I'm saying. Carolina still has something to play for. I don't care what they have to play for. You should take that will to play for it out.
Man,
would you agree, Gunner?
Man, they should be disqualified, that whole division, man. No one wants to see that. No one wants to watch that.
Yeah, I'm not even asking you to do anything special. I'm asking you to just do what you're supposed to do.
Man, that's a crime. One of them gets a home playoff game. Like, that's crazy.
Like, that's just the facts. Giovanni Lyon says, a lot of what you say is solid. I ask questions like, why would he say that? And then I see it. You solid. I appreciate it. Golf is Scott Mitchell without the attitude. All right, so listen. True story with Scott Mitchell. This happened to me. I was a kid, right? And I went to the Lions training camp. And so everybody and their mother was around Barry Sanders. Everybody and their mother was around Robert Porcher. Everybody and their mother was around Lomas Brown. And like just they was around all these people, right? And it was just Scott Mitchell over there. It was like a good 7 people. So at this point, I had already got some stuff signed by the people I wanted. Herman Moore, who ironically is my favorite Lion. Yes, I know Barry played for us, but I just liked Herman Moore. Sorry, right? I even thought I could be a receiver at one point. My brain was just in another place. That's not the point. I go over to Scott Mitchell, right? And he's you can see it on his face that he's upset. And I said, "Hey, Mr. Mitchell, can I have an autograph?" And he gives me the most terrible attitude ever and says, I'm done with these goddamn autographs. And I went, oh. And he walks off. And some guy comes up and goes, all right, kids, we go over here and we go get your autograph over here. And I remember standing there giving him the death stare. I was hoping that my looks made him trip or something, right? Like, and to this day, I had a chance to meet him again as an adult. And he was doing some promo stuff here. And I said, you don't remember this, but I was a kid and I came and you was real rude to me. He said, oh man, I was probably going through something. I said, yeah, but it's okay because I'm glad I didn't get your autograph because it wasn't worth shit anyway. Talk about revenge, right? True story. That really happened. That really happened. Made me feel so damn good. So to this day, I despise Scott Mitchell. So no, Jared Goff is not Scott Mitchell. Sorry. Facts, must have a run game in November, December, and January. Yep. All the best teams do. Raw Detroit, aka TA, says, I totally agree. Luke, appreciate that. Friendly neighborhood Lions fan. What's going on, brother? My man, Mr. Combs is in the building. Appreciate you looking. Appreciate you look. Stay in 22 days are a great cause. The man hour donates $2 monthly. Hey, listen, I could not thank y'all enough for y'all picking up on that and realizing that, this is something that is important to me and it matters. And you gave an opportunity to help and push it further. So hey, kudos to you. I salute you and Man Hour and everybody over the whole family and everybody. Appreciate you. It says, wish that shirt was reversed. What you mean? Dang, now you got me thinking. You see that, Combs? We got to figure out some stuff, all right? I want to support the cause. Lionsley says, Luke, I'll buy some of those if they had some without Man Hour Radio on the back. But I put it this way. The cause is more important, right? Like, if you give a person some food who's in need of a meal, if they decide not to eat the meal, you didn't do anything wrong. The cause was more bigger. That's all I'm saying. It's about the message. I know, right? Let's see. Scott Mitchell was a joke, not even in the same category as Goff. Now, I get it. Let me see. Let me get down, catch up on it. And then, again, the link is in there for you to jump in. My man, Anthony from Roar the Lion UK is in the building. What's going on, brother? How are you? Luke, player takes get age well like fine wine and ketchup. There's two positions that it's really hard for me to figure out. There's two. I've never admitted this on air, but there are two positions that I struggle with heavily. That is running backs. And for some reason, I struggle with cornerbacks. However, I've gotten better with the quarterbacks because I've started to learn more as I paid attention to the people who did it, to the Darrell Reeveses, to the Charles Tillmans, to the Deion Sanders. When I started doing that, I started getting better at it. Quarterbacks, I got pretty much figured out. Although one of the quarterbacks that I was willing to pick up, but I think he sucks because of what's around him, which is Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson sucks because of what's around him. And I think that's what did it. Also, yes. Happy birthday, Anthony. I forgot all about that. I'm drawing all kind of blanks, brother. That's my bad. My apologies. All right, let's see. Let me see what else we got in the build. I want to make sure I don't miss nobody. Let's see. Yeah, I had to get Scott Mitchell back, man. F him, bro. F Scott Mitchell. Let me bring in my man Lions Rumble 81 in the building. Lions Rumble. Let me hear you roar. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Gunner? Luke? How you guys doing today, man?
Hey, listen, I'm doing good. Like, Andrews asked a question that I think as many people are talking about, where he says, "Is everyone ready for the blizzard on Thursday through Saturday?" All right, now I'm finna have a guilty pleasure moment, right? If you would have asked me this a couple of years ago, I'd have told you, hell no, I'm not ready for this. But since purchasing my goddamn snowblower, I look forward to it. You understand? You're talking about a person from the time he can walk been shoveling snow. I literally snowblowed the entire neighborhood. That damn thing is awesome. I don't know who invented it, but salute to you. Salute to you. Facebook user, what up, fam? What's going on, family? All right. More RP Francos. Let's see. Did that cause the crime scene in the trunk? Mitchell did get beat years ago. I I don't know if it caused the crime scene in the truck or not, because I don't know if I was even there. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. He says he'll take it off the back of the shirt. I mean, listen, you take it off, leave it on. I'm just saying the reversible thing is kind of interesting. All right. Front on the back on the front of the t-shirt. I understand. So you saying put the stay on the back of the shirt? Okay. All right. Let me ask you this, Rumble. I want to get into these because again, the link is in the description. Oh, the Facebook user was you. My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Dave Webster says, I'm in Bradenton, Florida. No blizzard for me. But I heard it's kind of cold as hell there right now. Like I heard the Gators are sticking their nose out the water while the water freezing over. So y'all getting some little bit of troubles down there. It ain't always sunny. Rumble, what are your thoughts on the Lions going against the Panthers?
I think it's a game to, much like you were saying, that we should win, no problem. But again, I want us to not start as late as we did against the Jets. I want us to really come out firing on all cylinders. I want us to have 34 points in the first half. That way we can get, some of the guys who don't see as many reps, more meaningful reps in game. Maybe the second half. Maybe Goff can rest the second half. That would be amazing. Throw in a backup QB. I just want to see what our depth is looking like. And I think this is the game that hopefully we could potentially see that, because we're going to need all the depth and all the guys. It's going to need to be a collective effort, especially, 3 games down the stretch. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I think Ben Johnson is just going to be a wizard as far as play calling. And I think Aaron Glenn's going to be out there, like you said, trying to insert dominance, have some picks, have some turnovers, really have these guys going at Sam Darnold. There's no reason why that guy should be even starting, at this point. That's what I'm hoping to see moving forward. And then, give our guys some rest, especially with these last 2 games being divisional opponents. So
100%. If you in the building, please hit the like button. It does help get the channel more love and appreciation. I'm not trying to start an empire, but I do want to make sure I get people in here who want to talk Lions and hear Lions talk, realistic Lions talk, right? Like, it's a lot of great content creators out there, and I'm just trying to put my little 2 cents into the arena, okay? Also, to Perry Ball, what's going on, my brother? He says, hey, Luke, how are you doing? I'm doing much better today than I was a few days ago. Again, this has always been therapy for me. This has always been important to me. It is one of the best things of my life that I've been doing that has helped me. And it's a way I can cope with a lot of things. And, it's a lot of people in this chat who have helped me through some very tough times. So salute to you, all of you who show love and support. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate you. Joseph Murdoch says, Luke, who is the cornerback on your draft board? I don't talk draft till we talk draft. We don't look past the team until we look past the team. And when you look past teams, you lose the game. You lose. And I'm not trying to take no L's. I don't talk draft until it's time to talk draft. And right now, it ain't time to talk draft. Now, if you want to ask me who I want to see in the playoff, then ask me that. But in terms of the draft, we don't talk draft until it's time to talk draft. Anybody, Gunner, Rumble, like, I'm not trying to be funny or not. This is a serious question. I need somebody ready to answer this. And I'm going to put a poll up for this. What the hell? I'm saying this in true story, true fashion. What the hell do the Panthers do good? Seriously.
I had to look at that Seattle game real quick because they didn't do anything good against the Steelers.
Like,
I would say the Steelers' defense is more similar to ours than Seattle's because they were getting after them a lot. They were harassing them a lot. I think that's kind of what we're going to be doing since our D-line's a lot healthier. So I think it's going to be a repeat of what Sam went through last week, running for his life. That's just me, though.
What about you, Rumble?
Yeah, I think they're still trying to find an identity. So the only thing I can think of that they do is just show up to the game. Really, I don't see I think this week we see a better showing from our secondary because we do have, Aaron Rodgers coming up, and there has been talk from him. And I think our secondary is going to be outstanding this week. To Dan Campbell's point, what he was talking about, what are those lollipops that were huge completions? That's something we definitely going to have to address before we meet Aaron Rodgers. And again, I'm not overlooking this game, but I think we're going to see a better showing from our secondary. And Carolina, all they do is show up. That's the best thing they do at this point. They're just throwing anybody out there. They got rid of their only threat. They shipped him to San Fran for draft picks and whatever else they got for him. So honestly, right now, I think they're kind of just, they're kind of waiting for the season to be kind of done and over with.
Okay. Giovanni Lyon says, Luke, please answer. Who are we losing at the end of the season? Austin Bryant pretty much just got his spot ran. So
yeah,
it's pretty much over for him. Charles Harris is definitely out of here now. I think they're gonna move on from Charles Harris. I think James Houston has been that much of a difference maker. And the fact that you got Romeo back and he's already coming back getting work done. Yeah, I can see them too. I can see Will Harris being put on the outs.
But you just got to look at that 2019 draft class. Whoever's left from that,
Big V is definitely out. I mean, you have a lot of people that's going to be gone. So I think at the end of the season, it's going to be a lot of people out here that you didn't. One Pride 40 says you're wrong about Hutch. How many games we in right now? We in week 16. And so Hutch has played 15 games, 14 games.
Week 15, yeah, week 15 coming up. Right?
No, 16. It's week 16. So he's played about 14 games?
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, 7-7 and then a bye week. My bad.
Okay. So he's played 14 games and he's gotten 7 sacks. He's got 2 interceptions, right? And I'm wrong about him, what they said. And I'm telling you right now that I don't judge players until at least the second to third year, preferably the third year. But I'm wrong about Hutch, right? I'm so wrong about Hutch. Meanwhile, a guy who doesn't even start is on his ass in almost every category, particularly the sack one. The tackles, he probably won't be able to catch him in a short period of time, but James Houston is a better pass rusher than him. That's not me being wrong. That's just facts. You can try to argue against it if you want. The film say otherwise. He's better as a pass rusher than Aiden Hutchinson at this point. And does that mean Aiden Hutchinson is a bust? No. Does that mean Aiden Hutchinson has not been decent this season? No. But when you look at the big games, just think about the big games. Where was Aiden Hutchinson? When you needed a sack,
be a good game.
When you needed a sack or something like that, where was Aiden Hutchinson?
Yeah, I think this D line is going to feast as well. If our secondary can clamp those guys up and have Sam Darnold hold on to the ball, I think those guys eat too, man. And just we have to set the tone for these next 2 NFC North opponents because they think it's sweet. Well, at least Aaron Rodgers does.
Yeah.
Oh, one of those teams is 500. Okay.
Don't they play the Dolphins this week?
Yeah. And I heard some Lion fans say they want to root for Miami so we get a better draft position. It's like, what's wrong with you, man?
What?
Yeah. No. I'm not okay with that, man.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Man.
Shout out to Marcus Roberts. He says, what up, though, people? We as fans say we enjoy the winning, but I can't tell with all the criticism. He says, typical. Go Lions. Go JG. Observation and criticism are necessary in all aspects of life. Even in everything you think about. I'll give you a perfect example, right? Kobe Bryant is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And many people ask he's probably the greatest, right? And Kobe Bryant had somebody to coach him. Do you think the coach only told Kobe Bryant what he did when he did it wrong? Or do you think he continued to coach him even when he did it right? Criticism is what makes you a better person. It's what improves you. It's what brings the best out of you. If you can't accept criticism, you got a lot of work to do. The reality is this. The season is not over. And at this point, there are some things that need to be made aware because players listen to our shows. I know this factually. It's been confirmed. Okay? I made a statement on freaking Twitter That was a clip from one of the shows, and I had a man's wife coming at me.
Tavon Wilson.
Okay, so I know they're listening. I didn't even at the motherfucker. I didn't even at them. Right? And I've had some other players tell me, hey, man, I like what you're doing over there. You know, at least you sticking to the points. I'm like, oh. So I'm telling you, they listen to this. And all I'm saying is at the end of the day, while I'm not a professional, while I'm not in the professional arena, I'm just telling you that I want them to be aware of what is going on. And that's all I'm saying. It's 66 degrees right now, cold to Floridans. But people from Michigan, like me, it's beautiful. I know you ain't lying. 66, that's my damn kind of weather. All right. Let me get down here, make sure I don't miss nothing. Wave Gang Podcast. That's first of all, dope ass name. Facts for the season not over. They need to keep going and putting that pressure on it. That's all it is. It's not criticism. It's just me making observations on what it is. We should blow out the Panthers. You cannot have a close game against the Panthers. There's no such thing as, man, we won. That's it. Because as soon as they lose, it's going to burn everything down. Goff got to go. I guarantee you, if you be honest, just be honest with yourself right now. Okay? Just be honest with yourself right now. How many of y'all was thinking about the Lions getting ready to have to go to overtime with the Jets when he got away and threw that ball deep and it was caught? How many of y'all was thinking of that and being honest? Okay. How many of y'all was thinking that the Lions were going to lose that game? So that's not me causing that trauma. That's our team. Because that game shouldn't have been close. He threw 5, not even ducks. I don't even know what's the slowest bird you could think of? A goose? A geese? What the hell is it? What the hell is the slowest bird? I need to know what is the slowest bird. He threw a goddamn turkey. That's what he threw. And it was caught. So I'm sorry. I'm just simply saying, keep it a swan. There we go. We'll take that. He threw a damn swan. He didn't even penguin slide. It was so damn slow, and they caught a sloth. Whatever it was, it should have never happened. It should have never happened. We needed to beat that team bad, and we need to beat this team bad. Because I can assure you, right now, Packers feel real good. They think they're going to beat the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins beat the Packers, and it's over for them. They done. Finito. So I'm just... The woodcock? What the hell's a woodcock? What?
Yeah, the bird. Yeah, I looked that up. The American woodcock is the slowest bird.
He said, if you Google the slowest flying bird, the answer is amazingly the woodcock. 5 miles. Man, that damn ball was so slow coming out, and we didn't get an interception. I don't know how, but thank you for that, fan man. That had me go right there. We should be dominating this game on every level. Every phase should be a total domination. You should see sacks. You should see interceptions. You see big plays. You should see small plays. You should see short games turn big plays. You should see constant pressure on Sam Darnold. But what they're going to do, I want y'all to be prepared for this. They're going to put P.J. Walker in and try to get him moving around. And we should stump a mud hole in him. You cannot lose to this team. And the game should not be close. The national media just made them, number 7th on the power rankings? You cannot be close in this game. You can't. That's the whole point. You cannot be close. Uh-oh, my man Wave Gang showed up. Let me see if the mic gonna work for me. Wave Gang Podcast, you in the building, brother. No, Mike. I thought he was here.
What's up, bro?
There it is. Where you at, bro?
What's up? I'm from Detroit, bro. I was just chiming in because I'm just seeing your podcast, bro. I'm glad you got a podcast like this talking about sports and stuff because I was trying to get my stuff like that, but I don't want to advertise my stuff without your permission. But I wanted to say about the Lions.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Advertise away.
I want to say about the Lions, man.
When you get a chance, put the link in the description so we can go and find your channel and show support. You say you went to
All
Detroit,
right.
and you talking sports? You talking all sports?
Yeah, I'm talking sports, and I also do like conspiracy theories, some conspiracy theory stuff with like
Listen,
the
it's an audience
takeoff
for
case.
it.
I be talking about all everything. Yeah, I talk about
You
everything.
see what the
But
big thing going around right now is that the NFL is rigged. There's a clip where they show the referee taking out the safety so that the pass can be completed for the Commanders. So I don't know. We gonna find out. Just saying.
oh, that's crazy.
But that's it.
That's
But go
crazy.
ahead, man.
With
What
the
you got for the show?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Lions, man. They doing real good. Like at first I had gave up on them at the beginning of the season, but man, it's like, man, if we really lock in, man, I believe that we can really get to the Super Bowl. Like our receiving core, we got St. Brown, we got Reynolds, we got we got Chark, we got Williams, we got so many weapons, bro. If all of them just lock in and be healthy and not keep getting injured, bro, I believe, bro, we can beat the best of it. Because, bro, am I wrong? Am I right or wrong? Didn't we come close to the Eagles, or did they blow us out?
No, we came
Well,
close. We came very close.
Yeah,
We was close with a lot
yeah,
of
that's what I'm saying.
Just
the
the defense.
defense.
Yeah, we
Trash,
came
trash.
close to the Eagles.
Yep.
And they the best. They one of the best teams. I believe if they didn't have that quarterback that can run like that, I believe that we would have won that game.
Even with the quarterback running, I think if the defense actually just made a stop for once, that'd have been we win that game.
Yeah,
They couldn't get a
but
stop.
now our defensive backs have to step up, because what I hate about us, teams literally get their best player, get the quarterback to throw the ball down the field, and their best player go up and just get the ball. We can't have that. Like our defensive backs have to be locked in, bro. And that's what I'm scared about the Carolina Panthers. Man, I'm scared that our defensive backs is gonna get cooked.
Okay. Well, I don't think it would. I think if our D line do what it's supposed to do, the blitz packages are getting home when they're supposed to, our edge rushers are winning their 1-on-1s. Yeah, I don't see how they're able to cook us. Now, if they're able to cook us, then that's another story. We got to pray about it, right? But I don't think that should happen. And I want to answer this question for Michael Huff for a second. He says, so if the worst team, Houston, can take on one of the best teams, Kansas City, to overtime, it's okay. But if we don't blow out Carolina, it's a problem. First of all, shout out to Michael Huff. Very good question. But let me just help you with this. I've never said it was okay. And most Chiefs fans that I heard was not happy about that. In fact, they were downright out disgusted. I don't know of anybody who thought it was okay, to be honest with you. And in my opinion, it was certainly not okay. That's a disgusting win. That lets me know that not only did the Kansas City Chiefs come in and sleep on Houston, they slept on them enough to get their feelings hurt. And lucky for them, they were able to wake the hell up in the right time and rectify that. So, no, it's not okay. But in the case of us being close with Carolina, there is nothing, and I'll show it again, there is nothing that they do good. There's nothing that they're better than us on. Like, it's hard to find what they're better than us on. You can't, what do they have better than us? Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, you can have a player or two, cool. But overall, what do they do that's better than us?
It's just people not used to the Detroit Lions being this good and winning consecutive games like this. So everybody from here and go for the Lions, like really doubting us against the Panthers. They already doubted us against the Jets. Now they doubting us against the Panthers, and the Panthers got a lower record. So I'm like, if we can beat the Jets, then we can beat the Panthers. All we gotta do is just come out the same way.
No, we can't come out the same way. We gotta come out better than that one, because I thought they started out good.
Yeah, we gotta come out way better.
The penalties killed us, right? But that's not the point. You finish a game good, but they still had a chance to tie it up and push it further, and that's just not good. But when I go through passing yards, let's look at it. Lions is in the top 10. All right. Where the hell the Panthers at? All right. Bottom 5, right? Like, they just not good.
I wish we could go for just like a few weeks.
Like,
overall. That's what teams do to us, though. They look at our defensive standings. We're still in 29th or something,
right? But
because of early on.
But you know what, though? The thing is much of that has not changed, right? So let's say, for example, right? Matter of fact, let me go over here, right? We'll just go right on down to the good old Panthers, and We'll just take any game. The last game. What the hell? Did I pass that thing already? Wait a minute. What did I do wrong over here? I'm tripping. Did I skip it already? Oh, I know why. I'm on the wrong thing. It would help for me to actually go to teams, right? Makes a lot of sense, people. But let's just go and look at a game, right?
Offensively against the Seahawks, they were at least good running the ball. They had like over 200 rushing yards.
Perfect. Let's take that game, right? Let's take the game against
Passing,
Seattle.
they didn't do shit.
Right. Let's take the game against Seattle, and we'll look at that game. That'll be our case study for the day, right? That'll be like our way of looking at it. Now, obviously, box scores don't tell the whole story. They tell part of a story. I argue that they're not good passing the ball. What does that show you here? Let me make this all big. I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. I argue that they're not good passing the ball, right? I argue that they're not better than us running the ball. And again, they had 223 yards rushing. Look how many people it took for that to happen. A receiver, another receiver, a quarterback run. If you take out, what's that, 4, 6, 7 of those runs out of there, that goes 30, 37, right? 43. Take that out of there. All right. So we take all this out of here.
So just the top two rushers.
And just look at the top group up here. And you just look at this. This is where all they work came yards. From. Now, I ask you, who you trust this false outlier over the fact that what our team has been doing against the run?
Yeah, no, our run defense got to be like top 5 at this point.
I'm just saying. So at that point, what am I worried about there? When you look at the receivers, they're not good passing. I'm not trying to make this up. It's a whole entire dink and dunk show. Like, this is a game where linebackers gonna have to make plays. Like, yeah, I'm not being funny.
To our linebackers' credit too, they've been playing very well, especially Anzalone. He's gotten much better than what he was doing last year.
Anzalone and Rodriguez and even Barnes and what's his name?
Jared Davis.
I know it's Barnes and Jared Davis. Yeah, but them are some dogs. I mean, then the Lions. I got faith in the Lions the front four, and then they linebackers. I got faith in them. It's just they defensive backs be having me on edge sometimes, man. Them defensive backs and them safe. Not. I can say Okudah and Elliott. Them some dogs. I can say and Jacob and Kirby. Jacob and Kirby too.
I just look at it like this. I literally fought hard to find something that they do better than us, and I couldn't find nothing. And it wasn't just the box score. It was me going back, looking at particular games that they did win and saying, okay, didn't see much there. Right? And so to answer this question, I've been waiting to answer this question. Define close in the NFL, though. 6 points, 17 points. Yeah, we're talking one possession. In most cases, most games are one possession, right? But I'm talking about where it's close, meaning that, like, they could have literally, let's say we use your measure of 6 points. I'll say 6 points is close to me, right? Because if they essentially score one more touchdown, then they can get the win there. Or if it's a field goal, something like that, they need like some field goals to get in there. Like, I need it to be something where this game can't be close, meaning that they don't get to come down late on the last minute heroic and make the play. They don't get to come down late and get multiple possessions. Like, it needs to be so far out of reach that is like next to nothing.
Talking like
a blowout. I need a blowout.
Yeah, and I'm saying, and then look right here. It says haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in how many weeks? That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't have this stellar rushing attack, and that's why I'm telling you. Like, I knew people was going to say this, so I came prepared.
See if I can find our last like worst rushing game. Honestly, that might be the Bears. To be honest, that was a while ago.
I'm just saying, but if you just look at it. Give me another game you want me to look at. I mean, what game do you want me to look at? They just have.
We really should win out. For real, we really should win. All these teams is not good. These teams is not good as us. We should win out.
That Bears game that we can't let. I know I'm thinking ahead, but we can't let the Bears run over 200 yards on us again.
You want me to see
that shit happen?
You want me to see what the Buccaneers is doing? You mean do that?
Being trash.
I mean, seriously.
division garbage.
I'm just being nice.
Like I was saying earlier, it's a crime that one of them gets a home playoff game. Like, that's crazy.
They're trying to get Gronk back. They're trying.
No.
Just look at what's happening in these games, right? Like, everything I'm telling you is still. Listen. Look, y'all think it's a game. I can't make this stuff up. I really went back and watched and was like, yo, what do they do better than us? You won a game with this, right?
Yeah, they yards trash.
Again, you get the Buccaneers give up a 100-yard rusher on 15 kills. That man had a 7.9 average. The backup had a 7-yard average. That lets you know how bad it was, right? The receivers still ain't doing nothing. This ain't something that I'm just making up because I want to, I just want to go. I'm going to make sure I show you Adrian. I'm not doing that. I'm telling you, look, they don't do nothing good.
Damn, Tommy Pickles was balling.
Tommy
I mean,
Okay, so
it's the reality.
I just looked. So it's been 5 straight weeks since we've allowed 100, or we haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher. So after that Bears game that we won, that was the last time we allowed one, which was to Justin Fields.
And that don't even count. It's a freaking quarterback running. That don't even count. I don't even count that. But I'm just telling you, look at it. What do they do good? They got 1 sack this game and they won. 3 tackles for a loss. They don't do nothing good that we can't do. We should be able to neutralize them on every level. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Not trying to make it complex. Wave Game, I want you to go ahead and plug your channel one more time. Make sure you put the link in the description so we can get people to connect to your channel and tell them what they can expect from your channel.
All right, shit. On my channel, shit, I got lately I've been posting like live, like I go live and I've been talking about Shanquilla Robinson. I've been talking about that lately. Like I talk about any like hot topic and I just get on there and I just like if you got something to say, you can come and say it. Like I don't cut people off or nothing like that. And I support other YouTubers too. Like I ain't that YouTuber that gets there and be trying to like take over somebody's channel or like hate, and I don't do none of that. Like I'm a very respectful person, you feel me? I'm just trying to build my platform up, you feel me? I just lost my mama in last December. And
I'm sorry.
I was doing this for a while, but I'm just trying to build my platform up for her for real. I'm just trying to, cause I got little brothers that do YouTube, so I'm trying to build my platform up to help them build theirs up. So, I'm from Detroit, so I'm just trying to really just grind and just get my platform noticed by a lot of people. And also, I was gonna do sports. I was gonna do it like a sports live, like the day of the game with the Lions. I wanted to do a sports live, and I wanted to find somebody to do it with. So I wanted to hook up with you on some stuff on the live that we can collab on. If you good with that.
Listen, I'm down to collab, but I don't go live on game day. I be too into the game, like I'm preparing for the next matchup. Like I watch the game, like I'm still playing. So like I'm taking notes.
Okay.
Like that. So I don't really go live, but I'm down to do a collab with you 100%. That's not an issue at all.
Okay.
Do me a favor, drop the link in the chat so we can so the people can know where they can find you at. King Sato says yes, we won versus the Jets, but remember Evan Brown cost us a Jamal Williams touchdown with that holding penalty. Yeah, I thought about that, right? So let's just say hypothetically, right? Like that actually happens, right? Cool. I still think the fact that you refuse to throw the ball on Sauce Gardner, a rookie, side of the field, or target him is disgusting. So even if you did get that touchdown, they were trying to be slow burn. They was playing way too conservative. And again, it did happen. But at the end of the day, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I thought it was funny us not throwing to Sauce Gardner because that had to be eating away at him. Like he had to go engage to get some kind of action.
Oh, he was mad. He talked about it.
Yeah,
he said he was mad.
To them guys, man. I thought it was funny, man.
I'm with you, Detroit D. At 100%, hold on, let me get this up here really quick. He said, I want to see some drag routes and some sweeps. I want to see all that. Wave Gang podcast, people, check it out. Wave Gang, if I can give you one thing that I would do is I would separate the sports from the conspiracy talk. Just have 2 separate channels so people know what to expect. When some people want to just hear sports and some people may just want to hear the conspiracies, right? I would separate those 2 if it was me, but if you're going to do them both and you're going to have it where it's conspiracies and sports, then that might be a real interesting ass channel. So I'm just saying, food for thought. So if you want to find Wave Gang, here's the whole right here. Wave Gang podcast. It's up here on the screen for you. When did the Lions become a so good? Year 1. Listen, Dan Campbell year 1 had the best 3-win season I ever seen in a long time. I don't know how you managed to keep them playing that damn hard in a season that was so damn lost. Like,
with backups, a bunch of backups.
Like,
yeah, this is
true, lost. Like that's where everything changed, Joseph.
They were ruining hopes and dreams.
Yeah, and then when you came in this year, you had a better schedule. Everybody, I saw this thing. It was like, oh, the Lions had the hardest strength of schedule. Bull. This is BS. There's a lot of fraudulent teams with good records, and that's why it looked like that. The Jets are not a really good team. The Giants are not a really good team. Commanders are not a really good team. And so because they have somewhat of a winning record, it's looking like they're good teams. That's BS. That's BS. Seattle's a middle of the pack team, but you know, and that's coming from me. I'm a Seattle fan too. Newsflash: I'm a Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Lions fan.
You probably didn't expect Geno Smith to be as good as he is right now.
I thought this is what I thought with the Geno Smith thing. I thought, and I'm not crazy about it because I've seen Pete Carroll do this before. I thought that they figured we'll toss in Geno Smith. The season's already at a loss. I've already talked to the owner. We're going to end up with a high draft pick and take a quarterback. Well, little did they know Denver was going to suck. They thought Denver was going to the Super Bowl, and so they were trying to get a late round pick that they can use to pair to move up to get the quarterback. Now they can still get the quarterback and get him some receiver help or get him some offensive line help, and you don't got to do nothing but just sit here. That's crazy to me. So no, I didn't think that at all. But I'm just saying that when I look at a lot of these games, these are a lot of teams that they beat that was in the middle of the pack. The only team that we played that was really good were the Eagles.
Miami's good.
Miami, I think, is a good team. I'm gonna give Minnesota a good team, but they borderline fraudulent. They gonna get snuffed out quick. And Dallas, I used to think was a good team, but after you gave up that damn loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, don't know if I can respect that no more. Just saying.
You talk about a meltdown at the end of the season, man.
You think
we for doing this?
You think we beat him again if we met him in the playoffs?
Who?
Cowboys. You think if we met
Hell
him?
Yes.
Down them and the 49ers, they're like the two teams I don't think we match up well against.
What? We could beat
I think
both
our
of them.
team I think our team would rise to the occasion with the Dallas because with the history we have with Dallas.
Jared Goff is cursed against 49ers. I don't think that's happening.
But see, here's the difference. You got to remember, if the 49ers are they're going into it with Purdy. And I'm not saying Purdy's no slouch or nothing like that, but I think after a few times meeting some of them hits, he gonna start changing the way he throw. I'm just saying.
They got
and Debo out, if I'm not mistaken.
McCaffrey.
So it's a lot of changes. Yeah, I ain't worried about that. You're not that.
I think Debo only out for like 3 weeks.
So, but I'm just saying. Support. I share your channel with my people 100%, man. Just get the support out there. Dave Webster says, remember that Super Bowl of Chicago versus Andy? Tony Dungy says he was never going to kick to Devin Hester, then changed his mind on game day. Kickoff Hester takes it to the house. No need to throw at Sauce. So I'm finna tell you the difference between what Devin Hester did and what Sauce did. I'm finna show you the difference. What Devin Hester did, for one, was unbelievable that year. That whole rookie season was a rookie season. People forget that. Opening kick, he takes it to the house, right? The difference between that and this is by you not throwing the ball not one time in a 60-minute game to Sauce Gardner, giving him that treatment, like, oh, he can't do it, which you essentially is telling me that you don't trust your receivers to do what they need to do against him. He needed to be tested. You know how many different routes that could be called that you can call in there? I like Sauce. Sauce from Detroit, I like him. But he's not somebody that I would be afraid to throw it against. He's went against other teams, and I'm almost sure that the Lions are the only team who avoided him. You make that make sense. That's my problem, Dave. We the only team who avoided him. I can't.
I like it. It to me because, like you say, he is from Detroit, so it's like, oh, you're not gonna make you're the hometown boy. We're not gonna let you eat. I liked it. I thought it was funny, man. I thought that was something only Aaron Glenn and them could have came up with, because clearly they felt like he was a X factor, and they wanted to just omit him out of the game completely. So
yeah,
I thought that was funny.
Like it's just it's a rookie. They didn't even do Darrelle Revis like that until like his second year. Like, come on, man. I'm not asking. Listen again. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm not saying that you said anything crazy. I'm just merely saying you went a whole game, and because you chose this game plan, you almost lost the game, and that's what bothered me. He says the teams we have played have the highest win percentage, fraud or not. Okay, that's facts. Fraud or not, they do have the highest winning percentage. But some people are not what they records say they are. I'm sorry. They're just not. Even Jamar Chase struggled against Sauce. Stop it. Jesus. I see we have to compare apples to candy. I got it. So let's do it. So your argument is Jamar Chase struggled against Sauce Gardner. And so since Jamar Chase struggled against Sauce Gardner, that's proof that we should not have even attempted to throw a ball at him not once. But what you fail to realize in giving your example of him quote unquote struggling against Sauce is the fact that they threw the damn ball to him in the first place. And if you listen to what I've been saying, I'm merely asking the question of why is it that the Lions of all teams would decide to avoid a rookie in that manner and not target him not one single time, right? And for the idea of what you just pointed out in terms of saying, well, even they struggled and this stuff like that, like all those good things you pointed out that you wanted to bring up, right? That you made the conscious decision to point out. I also want you to just take a second to understand that they at the very least, still threw the ball there. They did not create a scenario where they could only really use certain targets towards them. And so while we talk about Chase struggling, he was targeted 10 times. He had 6 receptions for 29 yards and a touchdown. But you know what that did? It forced them to respect what's going on, and it allowed for people like Boyd to get off, who had 105 yards and a touchdown, and T. Higgins to get off, who had 5 receptions and 93 yards. And when you sit there and cheat yourself like that and give that much respect to it, all you did was took the opportunity for your guy to be defensive rookie of the year off the damn table. You didn't even want to test the other guy. They had no problems running the ball at Aiden Hutchinson. They had no problems calling pass plays and long pass plays at that with Aiden Hutchinson out there. So please spare me with the other stuff about, oh, well, they didn't want to do it and he struggled. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. We got to stop with these apples to candy things, man. Oh, goodness. And 7 of those teams lost. Okay. Luke, we call that beating them with 1 ass cheek and 2 toes. Yeah. Yeah. The older guys, 28 years old, like Kaminsky and Lonnie Raymond, are the unsung heroes of this team. That's a good unsung hero. That's fair. Because Goff will throw a pick, left and allowed, and you definitely lose that game. Y'all heard that, right? Rumble, you heard that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we worry about him throwing picks. So we dumb it down so bad that they have a chance to still win the game. Got it. You're okay with that? Got it.
No, I just think it was head games. I really do. He's from the 313, like you said, and I just think they were like, "Oh, you ain't on our team, and you're not going. You ain't gonna flash in front of your family on us." They completely took him out of the game. I'm okay with what they did. I thought it was funny, man. I really did.
To all the people who cool with it, not mad. I'm not. I'm not cool with it. I'm sorry. I'm not cool with it. Not one single pass went that way. Jameson, what you break him here for? What you bring Chalk here for? If you're not going to be able to do that, what you bring him here for?
Yeah, to be fair, he should have. He wanted to smoke. He should have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna go after St. Brown, or I'm gonna go find the smoke." He was just kind of like, "Oh, they don't want the smoke." I think he only played on one side of the ball. Like I think it was the left. I got to go back and check, but I think he was only on one side of the field. So I mean, yeah. I like it though.
I just don't like. Michael Huck says it didn't matter because we won. That's the only thing that matters. Winning is very important, and it is the thing that matters the most, right? But I can assure you, if we lost, everybody would go back to them other games to talk about them then, and then they'll be critical. And at that point, it'll be hindsight 2020. The same way we do it now, where we go back and be like, had they won these games earlier, we could have won the division, right? Right? The same issues are persistent. Deep passes going down there, big plays are still happening. That's where it kind of, my issue. My job is to make sure that I point out all the things that stand out that are truthful from the beginning.
Fair enough.
How did Stephon Diggs do? Jesus. Well, I mean, he want to go through the whole roster at this damn point. You tell me how he do. Did they throw the ball to Stephon Diggs? That's the question.
No, it's all good. It was a mind thing. Like that, especially as an athlete, like you're like, oh, you see what they're doing, but it's like you can't, you know what I mean? You can't even be upset. It's like, man, they're not giving me an opportunity to make a play on the ball. And, them being a rookie, I could see what our guys were doing, man. But yeah, I thought it was funny, man. They're like, nah, we're not gonna. That's the only threat they really had on defense.
How many interceptions wish you had a guess Sauce Gardner had this season?
Oh man, maybe 5. I know he ain't in double digits yet.
No, let's try 2. You're dodging the guy who got 2 interceptions. Like,
but also Goff didn't look the greatest that game.
He didn't look the greatest that game because the play calling was conservative shit. Ben Johnson came out with a shit of a play calling thing. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm not trying to knock it. It says they actually did have problems running at Hutch, tackles for a loss, and like a 1.3 yard per carry. They did okay. If you believe that Hutch is the reason they had a hard time running, is okay. That's just not true. They didn't have. If they had, what's the running back that got hurt for the season?
Breece Hall.
I guarantee you, if they had Breece Hall, that game that we had, they would have called the plays totally different. They'd have been much more aggressive and stuff like that. The fact that they were able to do what they did was that, but nobody was.
I think James Robinson's hurt for them too. A guy they traded for mid-season.
That's what I'm saying. It's just not true. I guess I'm trying to make sense of it. It's just not true. That's all I'm saying. Ain't Hutch getting double teamed though?
Not every play.
Now we've been through this already, and I've went through and I've shown people. I've shown them real time. Like, look, this is not a narrative that people want to make up, and people saw what they own to eyes, and I'm like, this is just the reality. So I'm not doing it. Luke finds a complaint when things are going good. Everyone needs clicks, man. I don't need clicks. I don't even get paid for this. It's pastime. All right, like for real. He's the most statistically double team player. This is just okay. Good grief. Oh God. Jesus. Okay. This is why sometimes I get frustrated with Pro Football Focus, because people go apeshit over stuff that they don't really realize. If you were to go back and look at that game that they just had, how often would you say he got double teamed? What do y'all think, fellas? How often would you say he got double teamed?
Yeah, maybe
a great player. He already a great. God damn! If you want to crown him, crown his ass. What the hell? Are we doing this for real?
I say as much as he plays, I say 20% of the time he gets doubled.
What? Look what they gave him the third highest. Okay. People, it's been an hour and 35 minutes.
Luke's like, I can't do it no more.
I can't. Because when people don't listen, people, your 6th round pick hasn't started a single game yet. And he's only 2 sacks away from catching Aiden Hutchinson. And I believe he's going to get those 2 this week.
Wait, you didn't say the most important part. He only started playing defensive end his last year in college, correct?
No, take it a step further. He didn't even. The dude was brought to the team, cut off the team, brought back to the team, didn't start.
As a DN.
And Aaron coming as an edge rusher DN in about 4 games and had the same damn total damn near as your second. I can't. Not today.
He's only been playing since Thanksgiving.
I mean, this is nuts to me.
Think of that game, what? Thanksgiving, he only had like 10 snaps.
The point is, Luke just finds the most obscure things to complain about. His Brad Holmes take is hot garbage. Any moron knows to go after weaker players and fans. You don't get that, mate. Oh, my God. All right. Fuck it. I got time today. All right. Doc, all you got to do is jump in. The link is there. I got time today. This is just strictly for Dr. Detroit. Who is the player that teams come in and game plan for and say you have to stop that player on the Detroit Lions defense? Who's that player? I'm just asking. Who's that player? I'm just asking. I'm waiting on the answer. Who's the player that teams come in and say you have to stop him? See what? No. I said on defense. I was very clear. On defense. Who's that player? See, I can name those offense. Ain't nobody coming in saying you got to. Who's coming in saying you got to stop Jameson Williams? For real. Who said who? What team you think come? Okay.
No, I think it just says Williams.
No, he said, I said defense, but then he went to offense. Then I realized he was talking about Jameson Williams, a guy who just came back, who's got a total
running back.
He's got like 24 goddamn snaps. And come on, bro. I can't with this. Rodrigo, man, what? I haven't even heard Rodrigo name in like 4 weeks.
He did mean the running back. He meant the running back.
Oh, he meant the running back. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about offense. So they are planning for Hutch. Are they? Got it. They're planning for Hutch now. I got it. And you believe that that teams are coming in saying that he's the guy you got to stop. That's the one. He's the one. Okay. Good grief. Okuda. Who the hell is playing for Okuda? Okay. All right. The link is in it. All I need y'all to do is hop on this thing so we can have a conversation about this. And I'm not like I literally, and again, what I said is when you look at his drafts, you can have, he came in. My brother, I love me some you right now. Dr. Detroit is in the building. Go ahead. Let me have it, Doc. You got it. The floor is yours.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, no, dude. If you're telling me that teams aren't planning for Hutch, then why the fuck is everybody double teaming him, Luke? You don't double team any player in the NFL unless you've planned for it. Mic drop, bro. I'll wait.
I believe that not only is the double team stat overblown and inconsistent in this,
it doesn't matter if they're overblown, dude. He's getting double teamed. It's a stat. It's a real stat, and you planned for that. I'll wait.
Every time he said "I'll wait," I started talking. Now watch this. As I said before, he's not getting double teamed as much as you like to think. In fact, most of the time, those are just the way the play is drawn up on the other team's side of the ball, and they're not trying to double team him. When he gets his one-on-ones, and he gets that quite often, it's very evident. He's not winning those one-on-ones. They are doing things to get him into the position to get those sacks a lot of times by stunning him. And when you look at the other guy who has not started a single game, who's got 5 sacks already, which I've already said, if I give Brad Holmes credit, it's that guy because he's something different. The whole name, The Problem, is perfect for him. He's a real problem.
He's a pure pass rusher, Luke. And
absolutely.
while the offensive line is paying attention to McNeil, to Paschal, to Hutchinson, that other side of the ball is getting off. Come on, dude.
Nobody is saying that you don't have contributors, right? Even every team, the loneliest trash teams, have contributors. What I said is there is not a perennial player on this defense that he has brought in. And when he came to this team, the number one issue with the team was defense. Am I right?
By the stats, yeah, that's accurate.
No. By the same stats that you just told me are stats that are real stats. Those same real stats.
Yeah, I just said you're right. Yeah, okay. That's right. Okay.
So when he got here, the defense was bad. And after the first year, the defense was bad, right?
Right.
And the weakest part of this team still now is what?
Luke, you can't fix the whole fucking team in one season,
I didn't ask you that. What I asked you is the weakest part of this team is what right now?
Probably, I would say the defense. I would agree.
Okay, so stay with me. Stay with me. We know that he went out and he got 10 draft picks for the defense, right? 10 out of his 15 picks were for the defense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Out of those 10 picks that he got for the defense, how many of those are perennial players?
Man, Luke, you don't hit on 100% of them.
I'm not asking you to hit on 100%. I'm asking you
how many of those players? Okay.
How many of those are perennial players?
Hutchinson.
Okay, you got one.
All right, Paschal. No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Paschal's rated high, dude. I don't know why you're laughing.
Rated high by who? Pro Football Focus, the same one that told you that Kirby Joseph.
Not just Pro Football Focus. You can go on many different sites who rate these things, not just PFF. Okay, and they're all saying he's playing well within his range of what they were expecting. This is Luke. This is by far, okay, after watching and going and attending, I don't know, man, 30, 40 drafts, okay? This is by far the best draft class the fucking Lions ever had. And how you can sit here and say and question this draft class, dude, it has everybody questioning you. I mean, arguing with this draft class, even the defensive players we got, the whole fucking nation is saying it's great. But Luke G, no, dude, he's got a problem with it. It's nuts, dude. And it's just nuts. And I love you, but it's nuts, bro.
But it's only nuts when you don't look at the whole picture, right? And when you go through and you look at the whole picture, because it's not just a draft class, it's also free agent moves, it's also trades and things like that. And what I'm telling you is when you look at this team, the same problems persist in 2 years. The same people who are making those arguments were saying fire Dan Campbell. And I'm thinking to myself, he still has them performing and playing hard. Especially on his side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball. And when I look at Brad Holmes,
we'll dive into that.
Wait a minute.
I'm on your boat on that one, but that's
wait a minute. When I look at Brad Holmes, my major criticism with Brad Holmes has always been he did not do enough to address the biggest problem with this team, and those problems are leading to us now having to fight and claw our way into a playoff in a season where you had 9 home games, 9, and you played a bunch of bottom-feeding ass teams. And on top of that, you played, I believe it was 6, you had 6 of those 9 games where it was against teams who were in the middle or the first year of their rebuild. And so all I'm pointing out to the people is that not only is it not ludicrous to think this, it's to say, you know what? It takes 3 years to build a defense. Baloney. I've seen teams do it in 1. I've seen them do it in 2.
Not the
what
Lions.
They did, you say that's a lie?
Not the Lions.
No.
We
don't get to use the Lions.
New Jersey. Like, come on.
We don't get to use the line excuse. Yeah, that tight end pick still pisses me off.
Then don't. But that's the reality, and everyone knows it. I mean, that's your narrative. And here's the other narrative that's a fact, buddy, is that you're trying to say that, oh man, everyone just knew that the Detroit Lions, after a 3 fucking win season, is going to be a playoff team because they had a draft and they had $5 million to spend in free agency with no real free agents that would really help this team that would come to Detroit anyway. So it's a crazy narrative you got whipped up in your mind anyway, because the truth of the damn matter is no one, including Brad Holmes, expected this team to be winning past 7 wins. And everyone could say what they want, but they didn't realize that Brad Holmes would have hit on 6 starting players in this draft. And all the players from the last draft.
Who are these 6 starting players? Where y'all get this from? Who are these 6 starting players?
Well, let's see. Let's go through it. Hutchinson,
one
wide receiver.
He's not a starter, but I'll let you have it.
Demo's not a starter now?
Oh, he's starting now? When did he start that? He's been out for half the fucking season.
He's been hurt, Luke.
And when he got back from the injury, was he starting?
He scored a touchdown on his first catch.
His first catch. Was
really
he starting?
Argue he's not a starter.
Was he starting?
He's going to be one of the best wide receivers
Was
in the league.
he starting? I'm not talking about what he's going to be. We talk about this year. Was he starting? Was he starting? He has not started yet.
You want to argue semantics, dude.
No, it's not semantics. This is
That's
fact.
the thing. You want to argue semantics.
He has not started yet, though, Doc. You got to admit, he has not started yet.
That's a semantical argument. He's going to be one of the best wide receivers in the league.
He has not started. So we got Hutch, one. Keep going. Who are the other starters?
Paschal. Oh, he's not a starter either, huh? Malcolm Rodriguez. He's not a starter.
Malcolm Rodriguez started because everybody else was hurt and dead. What are you talking about? The linebacker core is still trash, but keep going.
Oh, he's rated one of the top players in the fucking league right now.
By who?
By all kinds of people who
all
rate
kinds of people like who? All kinds of people
not
like
Luke
who?
G, but everybody else. How about that?
No. By who? Give me the source. Give me the source. We can look it
everybody up. But Luke G. How about that?
Give me the source.
Just about everybody in the fucking NFL except for Luke G.
Just give me the source.
I just gave you all of them, dude.
So you telling me, hold on. So you telling me I can Google
with that than it is to give you all the people who are with it.
Wait, I can Google that Malcolm Rodriguez is one of the top players in the league.
Because, dude, you would stop talking about it if you did.
Wait, so I can Google it, right?
Right, anybody can. That's why they're in the chat blowing you up like you're fucking nuts.
Listen, the chat is here for a reason. This is the whole
to let you know just how fucking nuts you are.
The chat is here for a whole reason, to have the conversation. But what I want you to do is I want you to stick to the script, right?
AKA, I got the script. You're full of shit.
So tell me the source. What's the source? Who's got him rated as the top player?
You can go to 100 sources.
I guarantee you.
Yahoo Sports.
I guarantee you, he won't even make a popularity vote of Pro Bowl. I guarantee you that he won't even be an alternate for a popularity vote of Pro Bowl.
Dude.
He won't be second team or honorable mention All Pro. Who in the hell got a guy who can't make a Pro Bowl, who can't be an All Pro, who can't be a second team All Pro, who can't be an honorable mention All Pro?
Stay on script there, Luke. He's a rookie from the 6th round, Luke. Stay on script like you say. Did Brad Holmes do well with the 6th round pick? You bet your ass he did.
Got him as a top player.
This narrative is bullshit. This is like
you have nothing
second grade
to
narrative
prove it. You have nothing. You have nothing to prove it.
Okay, I got nothing but Rodriguez starting in the middle, and they're making a run for the playoffs while you're talking about how Brad Holmes didn't do his job. But Malcolm's starting every week, and this team's making the playoffs.
I just want to know who are the 6 starters. You name them. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Name Mitchell. Did Mitchell? Hey, how about Mitchell? How about them tight ends? Oh, they suck too, I bet, eh?
Mitchell's now good. Got it. Okay, I'm listening. Keep going.
Okay,
so you got Hutchinson.
Game, right?
You got Hutchinson. You got Pascal, right? You got what you got? Hutchinson, Pascal. You got Mitchell.
Yeah.
Who else? The other 6 starters.
Rodriguez, 5. I said.
Rodriguez. Okay. You said 6.
I said 5 or 6 starters.
No, you said 6, but if you want to change it, I'll allow it. You want to change it to 5?
Look, we got 5. We got 6 starters. You got Williams. You got Hutch. You got Rodrigo. You got the safety.
Mm-hmm.
You got the cornerback every now and then. I don't know if he's starting because of injury. What might be, might not be. I don't know.
He's on
There's
IR.
right there.
Okay.
And then Paschal. There's 6.
All right.
Have
So
we ever gotten 6 players in a draft in our history that started? Ever?
Your start.
Never.
Your
Luke.
starters are starting
Never.
because people are hurt. But
okay, and they're making the playoffs supposedly, right?
yeah,
So
because
how does
that's
that
what
fit
happens
your
when you have a good
narrative?
head coach. When you got good
If
leadership,
they're playing
everything's
so
fine.
bad, how are they making the fucking playoffs?
Wait. Who said they're playing bad? I said you have contributors. But my issue with Brad Holmes is he did not do enough to address the weakest part of our team. We are in year 2, and it's still the weakest part of our team.
What's he going to do? Luke, okay, to your point. Then what does he do with this year's picks?
He better hit.
Pick a whole
Shit.
other team?
He better get the defense fixed. I better see some impact players, some serious impact
Luke,
players.
he's got so many picks that you can't just you'll be able to fix the defense and whatever holes you have on the offense.
This is like the
That's
Jalen
the
Reeves
point.
Maven talk when people don't say that stuff. I just find it interesting at best. But go ahead, I'm listening. I really am listening because I want you to be able to have. And by the way, people, for the point of this, Doc, we are having a simple conversation. I don't want people to think this is like serious.
Oh no, you know, come on.
I don't want. I
No,
want people to understand we're having a
Yeah.
serious discussion. This was a long time coming. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just a passionate discussion.
No,
that's
all it is. All right.
Yeah, but
So
it's
now we get that out the way.
because
No, I
let's
don't
be
want people to
honest,
think
hey,
that. I believe-
nothing we say matters any fucking
No,
way.
and the reality is this: you can have points that I can just be like, okay, you know what, those are good points. But I just want to show some things. Okay.
Like,
And
well,
that's-
I'm trying to weekly. Listen to me. Weekly, I'm trying to figure out like what you're driving at, and the only thing I keep hearing, like what I hear, and maybe I'm off, but maybe I'm the only one hearing this. But what I hear is that Brad Holmes is a doofus because he didn't fix the defense this draft.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Brad Holmes deserves some blame because the one major part of this team that needed fixing the most, he didn't fix. Instead, what he did was he doubled down on Jared Goff and gave Jared Goff every piece of ounce of help that he can give Jared Goff so he can double down on Jared Goff and say Jared Goff is the guy. He was never going to draft a quarterback the year that people thought he was going to draft a quarterback. And I'm cool with that. You didn't want to draft him? By all means, don't draft him, right? Like, that's just not what you want to do. I totally get it.
I just want to stop you there. Now, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, I wanted Williams, the wide receiver, JMO, but I really wanted him because I knew how good he was and special. But I'm not crazy about this whole love affair with Goff. I'm not gonna lie. But go on. Other than that, yeah, I kind of agree with that. But go on.
And so when I go through and I look at this draft, right? Because the thing is this: I talked about it, period, that I wanted to get starters, right? And I said I'm not looking for people who are getting in when people get hurt, right? Because Kirby is only starting because Tracy Walker got hurt. And then what happened was, for some strange reason, I don't know who the hell I should ask this question to. Dan Campbell, more likely him, because whoever thought that it was a smart idea to put Juju Hughes in over Kirby, okay, like, you drafted him in the 3rd round. Either he can play now or he can't. And if he can't, that's a problem, right? So off rip, one of the things that I do, and I see you in the back, Wave Gang. I just want to make sure we had this conversation. So one of the things I do is I like to look at things, right? I give you Aiden Hutchinson is definitely a starter, right? Everything says starter, right? Every single thing says it. Like, you can look it up. You can see it right here, big as day. 14 games, 14 starts, right? Like, that's just facts. We cannot get around that. When you go to Jameson Williams, we know he's been hurt, right? Like, I know he's 100% been hurt. But when people tell me he's a fucking starter, I know that's bullshit because he has not started yet. He just hasn't. And I'm not saying that he won't start eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, you still got a case of the ass with Brad because he drafted hurt players. I get that too.
But it's just the facts.
Let me get this off. I'm sorry, guys. Let me get this off. Dr. Detroit, I see your point. Luke, I see your point too. But Dr. Detroit is right as far as these guys that we drafted. What were some of the qualities they had? There was leadership. It was guys that. So some of these guys are actually stepping into this role and accepting the responsibility to produce. Now, albeit I did not expect Houston to come in and be the problem that he has been. I didn't
certainly
expect
did see
him
that.
to,
No,
I
dude.
certainly did not.
Really?
We're getting
in his
gems.
sixth round.
Yeah, exactly.
6th round gym.
Like, what
Like,
the fuck is this? Right.
what?
I mean, but that ain't the
on
first
earth?
time we ain't got a gym in the 6th round. Come on now.
Oh,
Not like this,
who's the
Luke.
last-
Come on,
Who?
Luke.
Amon
Luke, come
Ra?
on.
No, listen.
I'm on
Andre
Ron.
Diggs.
We can go through some history on it, but I'm just telling you, it ain't the first time. But I'm hearing what you're saying. Go ahead.
So my thing is he did. Yeah, I know he needed to address, but we said it prior to the draft. We felt like the offense was closer to being complete more so than the defense was.
Correct.
And if you're going to use the draft to do so, he used this draft to kind of, like you said, give Goff tools. Now, next draft, I believe that we are going to have some issues. We already know we're going to have some issues on defense that we really need to address. But as far as the offense, I think we're 1 or 2 unrestricted free agents away from actually being. We've shown we can put up 40 points with this offense we have now. So I see what Dr. Detroit is. I fully agree with him.
I
think
see what
that
he's saying too, right? But the difference is
think
between what he's doing, what I'm saying is this. He has a position that he believes that I'm just want to shit on the guy. I'm not. What I'm saying is this. I'm really making a point that, look, here's my issue with him. When you come in as a general manager and you're evaluating a team, right? Just look at the games that we lost. If the defense do what they're doing now, we don't have this problem. But most of the people that we're talking about are only starting due to injuries or lack of positions. And so,
what does that say about their those intangibles that you so much like?
I love intangibles, right? So
Right.
I don't kill them. I don't kill them for that. That's not what I'm killing them on, right? Because even now, when you look at this team, the defense is playing better than it ever has. And yes, it took some scheme changes and some stuff on Aaron Glenn's part, right? I get all that. But what I'm saying is this. When you look at the team in its entirety, there isn't a player that you go and say, you know what? I got a game plan to stop that dude. It is not Huston. It's just not. And granted, we made our draft picks, right? But when you tell me we got, well, you say 5 starters, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, yeah, because people are fucking hurt. The only one I see was a true starter was Hutch, right? But Pascal didn't start because he just took that spot. Romeo Core was out. And what happened? Romeo Core got healthy, and to the bench, Pascal ass went. And when you look at people like Jameson Williams, this man is no starts. He has not been a starter. He's played in 3 games, but he has not been a fucking starter. And what they doing? Sitting him on streaks and fades. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then my position was, I would have rather had somebody who can play from the beginning because our defense was the problem. We should have won a division this year. That's just the truth. We should have won the division this year.
Yeah.
And we didn't because the same fucking problem that persisted under Patricia persists now. It's the defense. So again, I'm not knocking any of that. I said this at the beginning of the season. I talked about this. I said, why is Juju in if we drafted a safety? He got to come in and play. He started out a little slow. He had that one good game, and everybody lost their fucking mind. And ever since then, if you watch these games closely, he's never in the fucking picture. He just got torched by Ozama. How the fuck you say his name, Gunner?
CJ Uzama.
Uzama. He just got torched by a fucking tight end, and I'm trying to figure out how. All these deep passes that keep happening, we're supposed to have safety play. Deshaun Elliott, every fucking game gets hurt and go out. I do not understand what's going on with that, but that's another problem. And on top of that, James Houston, I will sit here and eat the most humble fucking pie there is. Best fucking pick I've ever seen. It's phenomenal what he does, right? Like, but this tight end pick still pisses me off. What is this shit?
All right, so Luke, so here, this is a counterpoint. I want you to hear this out. And
I'm listening.
Okay. So I don't believe in my heart of hearts that Brad Holmes or Dan or Sheila planned on winning many more games than 5-6 games this season.
then we get the wrong people, I think.
No. I'm telling you, I think and I believe, and I got some evidence that should be obvious to people why this is.
Okay.
So, okay, I believe they sold them on year 3. Like, we got golf as a bridge. We're going to build this thing up organically. And I think that they're shocked by the production that they're getting out of, well, Johnson, okay? And the players they have. He's getting a lot out of this offense.
My apologies, Dr. Detroit. Rumble got to get up out of here. Rumble, get the people. Damn it.
He gone. Yeah, he gone.
Yeah. Go ahead. Continue your point.
Okay. So, and the reason why I say I believe this is because he did draft players that were hurt that he knew he wasn't going to get until week 10. And he didn't do it with one. He did it with several. And he did it early in the draft. And that just tells me right off the bat that it's like, hey, man, this isn't a next year thing. Now, we just caught some fire, and I don't think anybody, and you watch enough damn football around the league, everyone is flipping out at the Detroit Lions like, how the hell did they do it? Look at golf. Oh, my God. Golf, to me, still ain't the guy, but that's a whole nother argument. But, okay, but don't get me wrong. I cannot believe he's playing better than Stafford ever played, dude. And
I wouldn't say all that now. He's doing it. He's doing enough. The ball
is pretty, Gunner. The ball's not as pretty. I get that.
I mean, give Stafford Ben Johnson. I don't know.
Well, you never know. But what I'm saying is the ball's not as pretty, but the guy hasn't thrown an interception. You can't say that about Stafford, dude.
Well,
yeah, Stafford throws lots of interceptions.
Golf is a good weapon
with no interceptions in his whole career. So
let me be clear to the chat. First of all, Dr. Detroit,
thank you.
I'm gonna need you to bring your ass back. This is too much fun for me.
All right, brother. I will.
Right.
Thank you.
But I want to bring this up in terms of a point. And first of all, shout out to Dr. Detroit for coming in and having a conversation with me. I want people to understand something. I do not subscribe to the idea that it takes 3 years to turn shit around. I don't subscribe to that. I just don't. I've seen teams turn around less than 3 years, and I've seen it happen more often than not. Right. But 2, I don't necessarily buy that the general manager and head coach don't believe that that they wasn't going to win this season. I that it doesn't ring that bell for me. He was very frustrated at the fact that they were losing these games close. I personally thought that we could win as many as 12 games, but no less than 8. And I predicted we would finish 10-7. That was my prediction. Am I lying about that, Gunner?
Nah, but the order probably definitely wrong though.
Not so.
Everybody order gonna be wrong though.
But my thing is this, and people who listen to me know that I was shooting down any person who says 6 or 7 wins. I said that your expectations were too low. I said that this is terrible, and we got 9 home games. I gave all the reasons why. My only argument is this. The weakest part of your team still remains the weakest part of your team. And I understand that you couldn't get a lot of things done. I do. But you brought back people like Alex Anzalone. You held on to Michael Brockers and restructured this deal. You're all in on Jared Goff. That's your quarterback. Get used to it. He's going to be around for a while, right? Like, these all are different things. You draft a tight end who I don't know why, but he's used sparingly. In fact, since they got rid of TJ Hockenson, they rarely use the goddamn tight ends. And you go out and yes, you find a Malcolm Rodriguez, but that's only because all the other people were hurting out. And Pascal, yes, he started, but that's only because Okora was out. Charles Harris is out. And again, they all were hurt too. And so things that Brad Holmes did that I've always respect. I respect certain picks. Like I thought, this is just me. I was excited. And Gunner can contest this because Gunner been following me for a while. I was beyond excited for Derek Barnes and freaking St. Brown. I did a whole video on St. Brown just being a bully out there. And I was shocked that he fell to the 4th round. I thought he was a 2nd round pick at the worst part of it, right? I give him credit for that. But I know that we can't have it perfect every single time. I can't give you credit for taking Sewell because who else was you going to take? Seriously. If you take Slater still wouldn't have been a bad tackle. If you take Sewell, he won't be a bad tackle. So who else can you have taken there? And all I'm pointing out to you is I just simply say, you know what? We talked about this. We hated the fact that hurt players kept being brought to this team, and they continue to be brought to the team. And for that reason, I just felt that this is the problem. Because when I watched this team when they was 1-6, and I guarantee you, nobody can say this. When that team was 1-6, hands down, you would have said that the reason that we are losing those games is because of defense. Now, there's a few other people who felt that it was because of Dan Campbell, but I'm thinking you scored 45 points and lost. You scored 35 points and lost. Like, look at the 6 losses. The first part of the 1-6 time, look at the 6 losses. Your second overall pick wasn't winning one-on-ones. And to be honest with you, he's getting better. He's still struggling, but he's getting better. And I'm just making those points to say, look, I get that we are a young team. I get that we are excited, but I can't speak for everybody else. But Luke expected for us to be a winning team with an opportunity for the playoffs. That's what my prediction was. It's on record. My expectations has never changed. He had 5 picks in the top 100. He made the trade, which gave him 4 picks in the top 93. I expected 4 instant starters. Yes, I did. And whether they didn't start instantly or not, yes, there are contributing players. Every team has them. But guess what? Next year, I bet I see no more damn weapons coming to that damn Jared Goff. We better start getting some things that's going to continue to shore up our run game at best, like an offensive guard and a running back. That better be only 2 things we add. Everything else must be perennial defensive players. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Dr. Detroit. Please come back anytime. Wave Game, you wanted to chime in on this. I want to let you get your chime in, then we can get our final thoughts and get out of here. Go ahead, man. Give me your chime in on this. I know you came in. You heard the heated exchange, which is 100%. That was so much fucking fun. But Wave Game, you want to chime in on this?
Yeah, man. I want to say, man, the one thing I got a problem on about the Detroit Lions, man, is they down. It's like you were saying, they down safeties, man. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like teams to target our defensive backs for some reason, and it irritates me a lot. And then one thing I want to say is, damn, come to me next, because it was something important. But I gotta just rethink about it because I forgot.
I'll give you a few minutes. I'll hit on one more. I'll hit on one more other point too. And this is something that I do want to give Brad Holmes credit to. Right, the one thing that I do give Brad Holmes credit to, is the fact that he is finding contributors late. One of the first signs of a good general manager is finding those late contributors. Right. I feel like he did something different. Now, again, I think Malcolm Rodriguez will be replaced. They're going to upgrade from Malcolm Rodriguez. I just feel it. I feel it in my soul. But one of the things that James Houston does, what he does translates on every level. The amount of moves he displays when he's getting off the ball and stuff is so phenomenal. Right? And what did he say? He says, I see that Detroit on how many chats? Micro Mike, what do I see? Yeah, Mike did not be everywhere, bro. But back to the point, I sit there and I look at these teams and I look at what's going on, and I'm telling you that the first thing that stood out to me about James Houston was he's not starting and he's beating these people often. It's not in between, and sometimes he's beating them often. And it got to the point where I showed Gunner this. It got to the point where they took the attention off of Hutch. to stop Houston because he was causing problems for the quarterback. That man really is a problem. So it's just that's all it is. You get your point back, Wave Game.
Yeah, I want to say this is what I wanted to say, man. They need to start running the like I be seeing the Lions like I don't know who calling they plays, but they would run the ball first down with Swift. They'd run the second and third down with Jamal Williams. Bro, stop running it with Jamal Williams, bro. I don't know why they keep Jamal Williams, but he's not a good running back to me. It's like he only can get a big run when it's like first or second down. When it's third down, they stop him every time. I don't know why they keep running it with him.
I think sometimes you got to do some things if it seems stupid, right? Like I think you have to do that, right? One of the reasons why I wanted them to target Sauce was because to me it helps your case for defensive rookie of the year. Like if I'm on the voting committee and I'm looking, I'm thinking y'all didn't even want to throw to his side. That's huge. That's huge.
They supposed to put Jamison Williams up with him. They both rookies, but you don't let him feel like he over status of a rookie. They should have put Jamison Williams on that side and let Jamison Williams work him until he can't work him no more. That's what I wanted to see. You feel me? We was already winning. You feel me? What can happen? Like, and the thing I hate about Goff, I think Goff having a hard time connecting with Jamison Williams because Jamison Williams is too fast. Because if you see on that play where he targeted him, Jamison Williams would have scored that if Jared Goff threw that ball ahead of him. Jared Goff threw it behind him, so he had to turn around. If he threw that ahead of him, that was a touchdown.
Hey, listen,
for sure.
I get it. Izzy says, I remember folks wanted Lewis Cine at 32. I would have did it. I mean, you couldn't have predicted that he was going to get hurt in the season. But at this point, we don't took half the goddamn draft with hurt players. Like Williams was hurt, Pascal was hurt. What's the other guy? The receiver, Williams was. I said Williams already. Williams. Oh, it's two damn Williams. Holy shit! It's Williamson, Jamison.
There's two Williams. There's two James. Like
yeah. It's so I'm confusing the shit out of myself. But yeah, you get my point. The tight end, the receiver. We had a few of them that was hurt, but that's not the point. We couldn't predict that they would get hurt, and that's the problem. Shay says, I don't know why, but it feels like Luke has a grudge against Rodrigo. Rodrigo to me is he is about as okay of a player as you can get. He's not somebody like I feel like if he was on any other team, he doesn't start. He's on the practice squad on any other team. I'm sorry.
No, Rodriguez, that boy. If you see how he play, I play linebacker. His read and react skills is so perfect.
I think he does have good read and react skills, but I think if you were to go through at the beginning of the season, we're not talking about right now, we're talking about the beginning of the season, how many of those teams would he start on? Just saying.
No.
And then Izzy says Lewis Cine didn't even start for the first 4 weeks. Dude played one snap. He was terrible. How in the fuck did you get Izzy? Come on, bro. You gonna give a man a terrible tag after one snap?
Who he give a terrible tag to?
Lewis Cine. It's one. Listen, we cannot judge rookies in one season. We cannot do a full judge and be like they garbage. That's why I haven't shitted on nobody to be like, oh, he's hot garbage. Do I think Rodrigo has been significant to help us out? Yes. But do I think that entire linebacking core needs a facelift? Yep. And a boo job and a BBL. Let's keep it honest. It's not sexy. Alex Anzalone is about as average of a linebacker as you can get. And so is Malcolm Rodriguez. So is so many other people. Jared Davis included. He hasn't been living up to the bill because he's a run defender, but that's not the point. Derek Barnes has not been consistent. I mean, that's all I'm saying. People, it says Luke just wants a number one pick on a linebacker like Ray Lewis type. I do also, but I want a dog. I want a person that, like, for example, if I were to go through, and just for you guys in the chat, we're doing an experiment, right? We'll do a quick experiment. I want just for you guys in the chat. If I were to ask you who's the dog on the Raiders defense, who would you say? Who would you say, Gunner? Who's the dog on the Raiders defense?
Oh shit, probably Nate Hobbs.
Okay. Who would you say, Wave Gang? Who would you say is the dog on the Raiders?
The Raiders defense. Let
Yep.
me see. I don't really watch the Raiders like that, but let me see.
We got Adams. Some people said Chandler. A lot of people saying Crosby. Watch this. Who is the dog on the 49ers defense?
Fred Warner.
Fred Warner.
Fred
Keep
Warner. Nick Bosa.
Nick
Probably
Bosa?
name any other corners.
Bosa the best. I hear Bosa the cold.
They
Bosa.
got they got
Keep
dogs
going.
everywhere.
Just
though.
just
All
watch
three
them.
levels are good.
I just want y'all to see it, right? Keep going. Right? Keep going. Who is the dog on the Buccaneers defense? I'm just telling you.
I'm a diehard Lions fan. I don't really watch these other teams.
I
For
feel
real.
you, but I guarantee you can if the people started naming them, you would know. Vita Vea's a dog.
Say Devin White,
Devin White's a
Devontae David,
dog.
Jamel
Right?
Dean.
Yeah,
Now watch this. Watch this. I'm just gonna keep going. Who's the dog on the defense for the Rams?
Shit, nobody right now.
Well, I'm just saying, but
shit, Ramsey,
but if they was all healthy, who would you say?
Ramsey,
Aaron Donald, Ramsey.
Okay,
Aaron Donald, and Jalen Ramsey.
All right, let's keep going. We're just gonna
that's
play
really about
around
it.
with this. We do a few more teams. We're gonna just play around
Bet.
with it. Who's the dog on the Eagles?
TJ Edwards, anybody, all three levels.
Davis,
They got everybody.
shit. Davis
Okay.
the rookie, he cold.
Okay, I just want to keep going. Now watch this. Who are the dogs on the Lions?
Shit, I know everybody. Dog on Wayne. I could say Okuda. I could say Hutchinson. I could say James Houston.
I
I
get a
could say
Sue.
Books. I could say Books.
Did I get a Sue? Shout out to you, Looney. He said Sue. I'm just saying.
McNeil.
I say Books. Books is a good player. Who else I could say Elliott. He all right. He all right. I could say Jacobs. I could say he a good player.
Funny, though? You know what's funny though? I want you to see something. Look at the chat. There's not a consistent name on there. You literally got Hutchinson, McNeil. You got Jacobs. You got you got all these different names. It's not there, and that's my only gripe when it comes to this team. When I saw us losing those games, I saw a defense that was a problem before, that still is a problem now, and that's what my problem with Brad Holmes was. That's just simply put. He came into it with the 6-month cap this past season with $36 million. He didn't need many big name players, but he could have added some people who would have still been cheap and had more contribution and help than what we
You
got.
right.
That's
You
all I'm
right.
pointing out. I'm not asking for them. I'm not asking for him to reinvent the wheel or anything. I'm just saying that when you look at it, it's not there. Shay says Hutch, Okuda, Houston, Kirk. Okay, so
Did y'all know Elliott was out this week? So now we gonna have a problem with our
now they
Strong safety, yeah.
now they'll be okay. They'll move. Listen, this the Panthers. You should be okay, right? Like you should you should be okay. All right. Kirby is a dog according to everybody, so you should be okay.
Shit, if he might start.
And
Safety then.
here's the other thing. Shay, you said Okuda's a dog. Are you re-signing him? That's a question for me. Are you
Okuda.
re-signing
Yeah.
him?
I'm
I'm not
but you
re-signing
got
Okuda.
but you got Tracy. You got Tracy Walker coming back. So I'd keep Tracy Walker and not sign him. Well, I don't know, bro. 'Cause Okuda is a good. He good. Okuda is good, but he's not an elite. He's not a superstar. You feel me? He just a regular good corner.
First of all, shout out to Mike. Michael say
Yes.
dog, not Will Harris.
Bro, I hate Will Harris.
No, that boy. Oh my God, he
And
get
Shay-
mossed
Shay-
every game.
Why is he here? Why is
Now,
he
listen.
still here?
Listen,
I don't know.
I want to point this out. Shay, I have so much respect for you because you were at least willing to say, yes, I will re-sign him. So now I understand why you think he's a dog. No problem. We got to get into the final thoughts. I was on longer than I want because I had so much fun with Dr. Detroit and also with, Gunner, Wave. Let me take this off the damn screen. My bad. Wave Gang Podcast, who has a channel. So, go over and get you some fun. And obviously Rumble was in the building with me. This was a good day. Warrior and Harris got to go. Damn. Can this Wave guy stop talking?
Their
Yeah,
contract.
he entitled to have his opinion. You know, we give him a little.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cold. Damn. Sauce Gardner is how a cornerback taken in the top 4 is supposed to play. Okuda isn't on Sauce level, and we talking about re-signing him though.
Oh,
You
dang,
know.
he actually left. That's crazy.
No, wait, where you go? You got to do final thought.
Damn, David, you cold.
Damn it. Wave, you got to come back in and do final thought, man. Gunner, give the people your final thought before we get out of here.
There should be no excuses to losing to the Panthers. Point blank and simple. No excuse. You got to go in there and just win. I don't care if it's at least by 10 points, at least by 2 possessions. You got to beat that team. Ain't no way. But I hope y'all don't have a good holiday weekend though.
100% have a good holiday weekend. They don't. You don't ran my damn guest off, man. Damn, gay. Wave Gang, man, you got to come back. Wave Gang podcast is over there doing his thing. He put it up in the chat. Please go and check it out. I'm gonna go and check it out and subscribe to it myself. You know me, I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note. And today's positive quote is very simple. If you don't work for it, you don't deserve it. I'm gonna say it again. If you don't work for it, you don't deserve it. I know that sometimes the task of getting up and doing the things you don't want to do can be a little daunting. But you know what? The man who don't fish don't eat. It's simple. You have to put in work. And all these things that you talk about you want to do and make better in your life needs to be done with you putting in work. You see, I find it funny how everything needs to come to people easy, but the moment you ask them to take one small step to get it, they can't grasp the idea. Put the work in. Bust your butt off and make it happen. Stop making excuses. Stop finding reasons to not get it done. Just simply put the work in. All the time that I look up and I ever got anything I wanted, it came with pain. It came with tears. It came with sweat. It came with exhaustion. It came with loss. It came with sadness and sorrow. And you know what? Every single thing that came with that work made me stronger, made me better, made me more powerful. Put in the damn work. You want to be something, put in the work. You want to have a business, put in the work. You want to go to school, put in the work. You want that chick who you thought you couldn't get because you didn't think you was in her league, go up to her with some confidence and put in some work. She'll show up to the door. All you got to do is put in the work. If you ain't got the energy, if you ain't got the balls, if you ain't got the heart, if the x-rays don't show dog in you, and you can't put in the work, you don't deserve it. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we about work around here. Let's get it done. As always, that's today's show. Went a little bit longer because Dr. Detroit brought the best of me out. Appreciate you, brother. I'm going to get his ass back on again. You can believe that. And if you don't do nothing else, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out. Hopefully, I can see y'all tomorrow.